On this episode of the Rust Friends podcast, I am back from WrestleMania in Las Vegas, and oh my goodness, I have so much to talk to you guys about. We will recap the event, talk about the winners and the losers of the weekend, and of course, we have to talk about some wrestling cheese man. All right, guys, let's talk about wrestling.
For the thousands in attendance, for the millions watching around the world.
You know what that means, boys and girls? Tenemos! Settle!
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
What's up, Rust Friends? My name is Edie.
Hello, Rest Friends. I am Teddy.
And you are listening to the Rest Friends podcast. And let me tell you guys, Teddy and I have been on a roll for the last 10 minutes before we even started recording. We have been talking about cell phone games that we play. We've been talking about the roast that happened during Mania weekend, which literally is insane, some of the stuff that was said. So we're going to be talking about that. And of course, I went to Vegas for WrestleMania, so we are also going to cover that. But man, Rest Friend, it feels like it's been forever since we last recorded. And
No, it really does.
and literally, I have so much content to edit. Still haven't even put our C2E2 stuff up. So the C2E2 stuff will have to go after Mania because that's getting edited today. And if you guys could see us right now, unfortunately you can't, but I am in my bed, or I guess fortunately, I'm literally recording from my bed. My Rode interface is on my mattress, and my microphone is the one that I use to do interviews on the street. So that's how my life is set up right now. Rest Friend, how are you?
I'm good, Rest Friend. That is literally the vibe. I was just telling you before we started recording that I love that the vibe is the same with you and I, even though we're not together, because I was going to record from my couch. I legit was going to sit on my couch, recline it, record from there. But I'm like, you know what? I need to sit on my desk.
Rest Friend, and I advocated for you to go and sit on your couch.
You did. You did.
So,
but you know what? Also, the airplanes, you can really hear them from the living room. And I'm like, I don't want to go through that. I don't. It's, the airplanes around here, restaurant.
Yeah, well, let me tell you guys why I am on my bed. So I was telling Teddy, there's construction going on, major construction going on in my street. They put the signs up yesterday, no parking on Friday on one side of the street, and then no parking on Monday on the other side of the street. And I'm sleeping. It's like 8 a.m, Rest Friend, and I hear a burr, burr, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? I almost had a panic attack. I was like, what is that noise? It sounded like, the cops when they're trying to like sneak by, like, burr, burr. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, who is getting arrested? So, of course, I looked through our security cameras. Nobody there. Nobody in the street. So I'm like, okay. And then somebody rings the doorbell. And I was like, what the heck? So I checked the security cameras again. Nobody there. And I'm like, clearly my house is haunted because who is ringing this doorbell? So I get my ass up. I go upstairs. My brother also goes upstairs because he's also woken up. And we look, and yeah, construction has started. They have some big ass machines outside. They had marked yesterday on the street something with like People's Gas, which is like the gas line company here. Yeah. I don't know if it's different anywhere else. I don't know. I'm uneducated.
I don't know.
Uneducated in that form. I guess you guys can confirm or deny. But yeah, People's Gas is going to do some stuff, and they brought out, what is it, a jackhammer? And it's like a like, I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know what those are called, but okay.
I think that's what it is. There's going to be a lot of sound effects done by me this episode, so please bear with me, guys. But I want to say it's called a jackhammer, Rest Friend. I don't know. I'm not a man. Ask Rest Friend.
Exactly.
When we're done with this episode, ask Sergio what sound a jackhammer makes, and let me know if it was the sound that I made.
I will. Okay, I got you. Let me write this down.
Yes.
Jackhammer.
And then ask him to make the sound.
Ask to make sound. Okay.
And then just remember the sound that I made, so then you can confirm or deny.
Can you remind me again?
Yes. Yep.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's the sound that was being made. It's like the machine that you use to like deshacer el concrete.
Yes, okay, that little pointy one.
Yes, yeah, the pointy one, yeah.
Yeah. It looks like never mind. what do you call them sticks that people jump on?
Oh, what is it? The pogo sticks.
Pogo stick. Okay,
Restaurant,
that's what
did
it
you
looks like,
did you
right?
ever watch Handy Manny?
I loved Handy Manny.
Oh my God, me too. I loved Handy Manny. If you guys don't know what Handy Manny was, he was the cousin of. Oh Jesus, who was he the cousin of?
It was someone's cousin.
I want to say Bob the Builder.
What?
No, no, right? I don't think so. Sorry, maybe I
Oh,
confused my
I'm
universe.
like, I'm like, I don't know this lore.
I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Who was Handy
Okay.
Manny the cousin of? No.
Wait, what's the name of your Android person? Do they have a name? Like Siri with
No,
Apple?
it's Bixby.
So that's what you say when you want to talk to it,
No, I just go for it.
or you just go for
But
it.
I'm on
Okay.
Google, so I just go on Google and I just yell it. So sorry guys, but it's because you can't see us. I literally just went on my phone and just yelled something at it. Um,
Okay, okay.
okay, so I honestly thought they were related to Bob the Builder because they're both in construction. That's my bad, but that's not it. So anyway, Handy Manny taught me a lot about tools. That's what I was getting to.
Okay.
People are gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on?" So that's the vibe of this week's episode.
Right,
It's
exactly.
definitely a "What is going on" episode. But best friend, let me tell you about my WrestleMania trip. So
Please.
I'm gonna start off with, when did I fly out? I flew out on Thursday morning, but Wednesday night at midnight, that's when I finally closed my suitcase. And I had planned, I mean, I guess I had my stuff in my suitcase 2 weeks prior. And I just kept like rethinking my outfits, and then the group chat, all the girls were like, "Hey, well, I have 6 pairs of shoes, or I have 7 pairs of shoes." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, do I have enough pairs of shoes? We're only there for 4 days." But I get it. It's Vegas. There's a lot to be done, right? So I'm like, we have
For
to
sure.
cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time. So I was like, I guess I'll throw in another pair of shoes in there because we had planned on doing a lot of things. We knew we were going to do a watch party for one night. So we were going to be at the cabana. We needed like a little pool outfit. We needed a brunch outfit for an event that Lo was going to have. I needed a mania outfit. I needed a club outfit. So that's already 5 outfits. We're only there for 4 days. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
there's so much, so much. But I left Thursday morning and I had my big suitcase that I was going to check in and my personal backpack. So I get to Vegas around probably 11, I want to say 11 a.m.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And from that point, I had to go to my hotel to drop off my luggage. So I got an Uber, dropped off my luggage at my hotel, which I had to do early check in, and they charged me $50 to do early check in.
Hotels are so annoying. That 3 p.m. check-in is, it just doesn't make any sense. So they're gonna charge you $50. Okay.
$50 for check in. Also, mind you, the hotel that I stayed at was the Link. It was a beautiful hotel. It's probably the only hotel that I'm going to stay at going forward anytime I go to Vegas.
Nice.
Restaurant, we have to go to the Link together because in the back, so like you go downstairs to the casino and then you go through a restaurant, and in that restaurant it's like you go through a whole walkway, and that whole walkway is just tienditas, it's
Mm.
restaurants, it's a Ferris wheel, like it's
A
beautiful.
Ferris
Yes,
wheel.
a Ferris wheel, you have bars, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And the vlog will probably be out in like the next 1 or 2 days from when you guys listen to this episode, when we're recording, which is right now Friday. But man, it was just so beautiful, and it just was so accessible to everything. Like we would just have to cross the street and you would be on the strip where the
Mm-hmm.
showgirls are at, where
Mm-hmm.
the fountains are. Hell's Kitchen is there. You had Caesar with the WWE championship. Like it
What?
was just full of great sights. So I would definitely go back and stay there. The room was fine. The room was fine. But it's really like the location of the hotel that made everything so
Okay.
convenient. That's what that
It was
was.
convenient. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You see, I love that restaurant because I am the type of person that when I travel, I do like a nice hotel.
Mm.
I need to be comfortable in the bed that I'm sleeping in because otherwise I'm very like I've only stayed at a motel one time and that was against my own will. my uncle was being cheap and didn't want to pay for a hotel. And I get it, right? I get it. But at the same time, I was like, "Ugh," I was in the bed like, I can't do this. I don't want to do this ever again.
And mind you, like I said, like the hotel, I mean, I guess it has just been renovated, that space. So it
Okay.
wasn't like anything too amazing, too out of this world, right? But I was comfortable. Everything was clean. I didn't really have a good view, but I didn't need a
Okay.
view, right? Because I could go
Right.
downstairs and get the view. Um,
You were barely sleeping there anyway, I'm sure.
exactly, exactly. So I was only there to sleep and get ready. Um, but man, that hotel is probably on my top hotels. The Link. I was supposed to stay at New York, New York, and I ended up like in the group chat. It was me, Lo from Wrestling Wind Down, Vanessa, who
Hmm.
she is fantastic. She was Lo's friend first, and then I kind of chatted with her last time in Philly, and now she's in the group chat. And then a new friend that I've made, Kelsey. She was from Texas, and we were the girls who were on the trip together. So
Hmm.
Nessa was already staying at the Link. I was staying at New York, New York, and I'm like, man, should I just move my hotel so I'm not by myself and so I'm closer to the rest of the girls? That's what I ended up doing. It ended up being about $200 cheaper overall to move to a different hotel to stay at the Link. So I ended up doing that, and honestly, great because Nessa was 2 floors away from me. And let me tell you, when we got into some crazy stuff, best friend, we shared one brain cell together the whole trip we were there.
I love, you know what? But that's what I love about girls' trip. That always ends up happening. Like, you sure want brain cell, and it's like, what else? What else do you want?
What else do
Right?
you
Like,
want?
what
Like,
else can we
honestly,
ask for?
exactly. It was a great time. We didn't have to overthink anything.
I love
And
that.
it was just so convenient. If I needed something, I'm like, hey, can I go upstairs? And she'd be like, oh, like, hey, make sure you, or can I use your hairspray? So she like come down to the 6th floor. It was just great. And then, yeah, I mean, I would recommend people stay at the Link, but so I get to the Link, pay $50 to go into my room, and I had an extra bed in my room, so great. I had plenty of room, so I dropped my suitcases off, and immediately I called an Uber again to go and take me to a wrestling show where Nessa and Lo were at. They were at Big Time Wrestling, I believe. Zack Sabre Jr. was on the card. Fantastic. Love Zack Sabre Jr. Which was fun. Do you remember how I was like, oh, I don't know about taking a picture with Zack Sabre Jr. at C2E2 because I might take a picture with him at during Mania weekends. I had
Yeah.
so many opportunities and I did not take a picture with Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah,
Why? What
did I
happened?
don't know. I
Did you
guess
get
I
cold
was
feet?
I maybe I did was friend, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to be bothering that man. Like,
Man, you know what? I'm gonna say something.
hmm,
I feel like that's real love.
really,
You don't want to bother him?
best friend? That's crazy because I thought about that. I was like, I be bothering everybody.
Exactly. I'm, I don't know about bothering, okay? I don't
No,
think you
best
bother
friend,
anybody.
because
But
literally
when you
when the I thought back to the moment where the Young Bucks were at C2E2 and they were going up the steps, and I was like, best friend, go say hi to them. You love them. Go say hi. And you were like, no, best friend, I can't. So I went up to them and I said hi to them, and I gave no fucks. I said, hello,
you
how are
did
you,
not.
Matt and Nick? I still couldn't tell them apart at that moment.
No, you. This was very, very early stages of you like starting to like the Young Bucks, well,
Yeah.
the Elite, but you literally went up to them, said hi to them, and introduced yourself.
Yes.
I was like, okay, what just happened? I was so nervous for you, best friend. It wasn't even me saying hi,
Yeah.
and I was the one that was nervous. But I really do think that that's real love because you talk a lot about Zack Sabre Jr. I know you want to meet Zack Sabre Jr. and you didn't.
And I didn't. I don't
We'll see
know.
how this unfolds in a couple weeks or months.
We'll see if he's at All In or All Out. They need to bring him
Right.
because I need my picture.
You do need your picture,
So
absolutely.
Zach was on the card. It was like a very small. It was a very small venue. It was just one room, probably about 4 rows of chairs on each side, and then it was just kind of an open space. Apparently, that show ran an hour late. So when I had got there, the show hadn't even started. It was supposed to start at 12. So
Hmm.
I got there, and literally, it was like the first or second match. That's what the girls had told me. And I'm like, oh, I guess it started late. Apparently, The ring did not get there on time. That's what the story was.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were had to set it up late, and of course it's Mania weekend, and there's so much traffic, and there was construction going on everywhere. So I'm sure that the promoter was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, clearly the fans were also like that because they were like, "We've been here forever," and they had to stand outside in a line for an hour while everything was being set up. So
Oh, I'm still stuck in the fact that you got there at 11, you got to your hotel, and you immediately went to a wrestling show. Like, you weren't kidding when you said that WrestleMania weekend is a busy weekend.
yes, best friend, immediately. And it's so funny because our schedule, you know how I make our itineraries for when we go to trips and stuff, or when we do
Yeah.
anything, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this, this, and this. This time around, I had to make an Excel spreadsheet because we were dividing everything by the hour. So we
Wow.
had like the location, what it was, the time, and just kind of like links if we needed anything to whatever. But we had to separate everything by the hour this trip around because oh my god, there was so much to do.
Y'all were busy. Y'all were some busy ladies. Let me tell you real quick. If I was there with you, I would be that friend that'd be like, okay, this one I'm skipping. I need to go take a quick nap.
Oh my god,
I
best
can't
friend.
do this.
He said, "Y'all go do that, not me though." So yeah, I we went to the show, and what else? Oh, so from 4 to 7, I like after that I went back. The show was over. Nessa
Mhm.
was gonna stay because there was a West Coast Pro show afterwards with some other wrestlers. So I was like, okay, let me go back to my hotel. Let me unpack. Let me start getting ready. And that's when I had the most time to myself, which was 4 hours. I had 4 hours of downtime. So I went back. I went to a restaurant that was in the hotel, and I had ordered some calamari. Terrible calamari, okay?
Terrible.
Terrible calamari. And then I had also ordered an entree of pasta, of chicken parm. And why did they give me a plate that was for like 4 people? Best friend, I was shook. They walked out with a massive plate, and I was like, and mind you, my hotel room does not have a refrigerator. It does not have a microwave.
Right.
So where the fuck am I putting this food? So I ate as much pasta as I could and as much chicken as I could. And I was like, well, I can't be too full because I have to fit into my outfit for Wally Mania and I don't want to be bloated. So I was like, okay, let me eat as much as I can. And then the waiter left me there for like 30 minutes after I was done eating. And I was like, hello, somebody cash me out. I need to like
Yeah.
go to my room. Mind you, my room was upstairs. I was like I had somewhere to be, right? I was like, all right, come on, like let's get moving. So finally I get my check. I go back upstairs. I got a M&M cookie with some milk. It was
Mhm.
delicious from a little like sweet spot that was there. And
Mhm.
it was 10 out of 10. I love that sweet spot. But honestly, it was like $20 for that cookie and the milk.
Oh,
So, mind you, money is spent in Vegas.
yeah.
Spent.
Yeah.
So, I go back upstairs, and the guy, before he took my food, he was like, "You don't want to take it?" And in my head, I'm like, "Take it where? Where am I going to go? I have no fridge, no microwave." And of course, they would have charged you extra to put a microwave and a fridge in there in the hotel room. So,
What?
I didn't have one. So, I am upstairs. I start to get ready. I get my clothes together. I did take a little 45-minute nap before Wally Mania started. And mind you,
Mhm.
it was located in the little like mall area that I told you that was literally behind
Mhm.
our thing. So it was like a 3-minute walk from my
Oh,
hotel room. So
nice.
it was
Okay.
super, super quick. So we finished getting ready, met up with Nessa and who was staying in my hotel. So we walk to Wally Mania, and this guy stops us to tell us we look beautiful, period. Um, and he's also got a podcast. For the life of me, I can't remember what the podcast is named, but nice guy.
Mhm.
And we walk in, we were for Low, and that's when I also meet up with Rachel. Rachel's Low's bestie from Vegas, so she's also there. Who else was there? We got a bowling lane, so we were very excited because Wally Mania had like GA, they also had like the VIP bowling lanes, but we found them
Hmm.
when they were $200 cheaper on the website before they announced it on the Wale Mania site. So we were like, period, save $200.
$200 is insane.
Yeah,
That's huge difference.
right? So Wale Mania, for people, our listeners who don't know, it's basically Wale, the rapper, and he puts on like a hip hop event that's filled with a mix of music and a mix of wrestlers. And this time, I think it was like his 10th year, this one. And it was brought to you by Netflix this time around.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
Netflix was there, and we went immediately to our bowling lane. And I honestly think that's what made it the most fun, was the fact that it was us, just us girls. We were bowling, listening to music, and it was divided up. So like you had the main stage where like GA
Hmm.
was, and then off to the side was the bowling lane. So we had air. we had we had the personal like bartender who would come and like ask us, what we wanted, and it was just great customer service. Good time around. I won in bowling, okay? Period. We didn't finish the
Wait, you
game.
won?
Yes, we didn't
You
finish the
beat
game, but I won. I had the high score. So,
Nice.
10 out of
Nice.
10 for me. Yeah, it was just such a good time, super chill. I think out of all the times that I've gone to Wale Mania, which this year was my third one, this has been
Hmm.
the best, and only because we were bowling.
No, that honestly, that sounds like so much fun. I feel like adding the bowling definitely, because every time you've talked about it for me, especially the experiences that you've had at Wallemania, I'm like, I feel like I'd skip that. But bowling?
It's so crazy because every year I feel like, oh, I could go without. And then I end up going and I'm like, yep, I could have gone without. But this year I really enjoyed myself.
That's what's up.
And then Jeff Hardy was there.
Oh,
He was the guest of honor. So they had a little video package for him and they played the song. Oh my God, what is it? Oh my God, what's his old song? Like, don't you see the writing on the
oh,
wall? It's like
mm-hmm,
that one. Oh my God, that's my favorite Jeff Hardy theme song.
mm-hmm.
10 out of 10. And like I was singing along and I was like, oh my God, it was a great time. Jeff comes out and this, I recorded his speech, so it will be in the vlog. But he was just talking about how, he was thankful that he was able to be there, and he's very thankful for the hip hop community. And he also said that one of the first lyrics that he ever wrote when he was a kid was like, what did he say? That he was like white as snow but black in the soul or something like that. And I was like, okay now, Jeff Hardy, period.
You're like that, okay?
Okay, deep ass lyrics, sure.
Hmm.
And they gifted him a like honorary little ladder, a little ladder for him with a little plaque. And
Okay.
that was just, I was like, that's super cute, super cute. But yeah, Jeff Hardy was there. When we got there, I think Samantha Irving was singing, and we also got to see Ricochet. We missed Naomi and Jay Uso, but I mean, yeah, it was a good time. It ended like around midnight ish.
Hmm.
And then we went back to the hotel, which again, like I said, was 3 minutes away. 3 minutes away. And then what else did we do after Wale Mania? Oh my God. Let me check
Oh,
my
this was all
schedule.
Thursday.
This was all Thursday. Yes.
Okay.
So I actually think we just went back to the hotel. I think I got something for dinner and I just went to bed because Friday morning I had to be up early. So
Hmm.
moving to Friday morning, I was tabling at WrestleCon with Lo for her wrestling wind down table.
Oh, okay.
So really excited about that. So I think I got Dunkin' in the morning. Oh no, Lo got me Dunkin' in the morning. So she's like, hey, do you want anything? And I was going to meet her at the Westgate Hotel, which is where they were, or the Westgate Convention Center. I don't know. I think it was a hotel. I don't know. All the places end up being hotels and they all have
Hmm.
casinos in them. So,
Hmm.
so it is what it is. But this one had like Elvis stuff. So I was like, oh, first friend, I love Elvis.
You do love
So
Elvis.
I was like, what the heck is going on? So I get to the hotel and mind you, I had to Uber all weekend and every Uber each time was like $20.
Oh,
So
oh
I
my
was like, oh my
goodness.
God. But like, yeah, and I had to Uber multiple times a day. So each one was about $20. So I get to the hotel and I'm like, holy shit, I'm here before Lo. Sure, I'll just wait. So I'm waiting for Lo, and the guy who's at the lobby starts chatting with me. The chattiest man. the chattiest man. Because I was recording stuff, and you're gonna listen to it in the vlog too, but I cut most of it out. I was recording stuff for Elvis, and he's like, "You ever been to Graceland?" I'm like, "Nope, never been, but I mean, I want to. I'm sure it's nice." And he's like, "Oh yeah," and then he starts talking to me about what I do, and I let him know. I was like, "Oh, like I work in radio," which, mind you, I told a lot of people a lot of things. A lot of things. There was one guy who asked me what I do. Well, one of the Uber drivers, and I was like, "What did I say?" I said, "I'm an assistant."
Oh,
I was
period, best friend.
I
I'm here
was
for
just
it.
throwing things out there, and they were asking me my names. I was throwing names out there too,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I don't know these people. I don't.
exactly.
You don't know, and honestly, I think it's a little fun. You get to make a whole new person when you're over there.
I agree with you. I love doing that. I love giving a different name. And when they ask me what I do, I just make up this whole story of, I have a restaurant, I have a whole career
Period.
outside of this that's not real. Because I immediately wanted to get a little bit upset when you said this man was talking to you, this man that you don't know. Because why does that always happen? Why can't we ever just sit in peace, listening to the birds or whatever's going on in the background? Why does there always have to be a man that's like, so,
You know, it's not.
what a
All,
beautiful day, huh?
what is the saying? It's not all men, but it's always a man.
It's always a man. Exactly. I feel like that's like our motto here. It's
Yeah.
not all men, but it's always a man.
And I originally I was waiting for Lo first, so I was just standing by the entrance, and he comes up. I get it; it's his job. He was saying, "Oh, are you here? Are you waiting for an Uber?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just waiting for a friend. We have to load it." And he's like, "Oh, okay, just making sure because this isn't like the Uber section. That would be somewhere else, and I didn't want you just standing there." And I'm like, "Oh, great, thanks." So I was like, "That's great. You did the job. 10 out of 10." Then I'm still standing there. He's chatting me up, and I'm like, "Sir, please." I'm sure there's other
Yeah.
guests here. So then I go to the Elvis section, and that's when he starts talking because that was in the lobby, like to the side. So I start recording. He sees me on my phone, clearly recording. Still continues to chat up, and then I talk about radio. That's one time that I did bring up radio, and he's like, "Oh, my daughter's in radio," and I was like, "What? That's crazy." I was like, "What does she do?" And then he was like, "I took a radio class one time." And I was like, "Oh Jesus." And literally the whole 10 minutes having a conversation with me until Lo got there. And then I was like, "Okay,
Mm.
sir, gotta go." So then Lo got there. We had to unload her setup. Mind you, this was at 8 in the morning.
Oh my ham. Red friend.
8 in the morning.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'm helping Lo unload her stuff. She's got a little like wagon with her. We put stuff in the wagon, and then we get to the convention place. And I was telling Lo, I was like, that man was a chatty man at 8 in the morning. So we get to the thing. She gives me a lanyard because you need a
Mhm.
lanyard to be at the tables and to get in. So we start setting up. We're literally right across from Indy Hartwell and Hyan, who I've interviewed here before on Rest Friends. So kind, so nice. She stopped to talk to me at the show that day.
Mhm.
So 10 out of 10. We also saw Joe Hendry walking around. Like, Rest Friend, I can't
Okay.
wait to talk about Joe Hendry. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I was ready for that one.
So yeah, Joe Hendry was there, and I also talked to you a little bit about this before we started recording. But Jinder Mahal, I
Yes.
was like so shocked because very, very mind you, he's a tall man, he's a big man in real life.
Yeah.
But while we were setting up our table, he is like going around. He's got his cup of coffee. He's saying hello to everybody. He's shaking people's hands, having conversations with them. And I was like, what the hell? Like, that's crazy. Like, what a nice man. He just seemed like a good, kind person from
Hmm.
what I was seeing, right? And not to say
Hmm.
that I wouldn't expect that from him, but
Yeah.
I would expect as a wrestler, like you go there and you're sitting at your table and yeah, you say hi to a couple people, but literally every person like he was turning to like look at, he said hi to. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice. That almost made me want to go take a picture with him, restaurant. I was like, I'll pay you,
Yeah.
sir. Sure, take my money. What a great
No, I love
guy.
that. Yeah, yeah. I feel like you definitely understand and respect when wrestlers just want their me time and they don't want to be bothered, or if they're just gonna say hi and just a quick hello, that's fine. but when they go the extra mile, absolutely. When you're a fan, you absolutely think about it as like, I definitely spend my money on you. I
Yeah,
definitely would. I feel that.
man, he just seems like a really good guy.
Hmm.
And who else? We saw like a lot of people. I saw Sonia Deville. That she restaurant body is tea. Oh my
Really?
goodness, so beautiful in person. You know, like we talk about, like sometimes you see wrestlers and you get like starstruck by how beautiful
Yeah.
they are. 10 out of 10, she's one of them.
Nice. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen her in person besides like when we've gone to a
Yeah,
WWE show.
same thing. Indy Hartwell. Well, Sonia was wearing like a black leather jumpsuit. Then the jumpsuit was like really well fitting. She had it like maybe like bell bottoms, and it was just she looked stunning. We also saw Willow. Gabe Kid was there. Oh, also, hold on, let me go back to my flight. When my flight landed, I was waiting for my Uber. I see Willow, and I also saw some other like New Japan talent, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
so
I was like,
cool.
oh, not me. I was like, not me. I can't, like, I can't right now. Not how I'm dressed. No, not off the flight.
You were in your airport outfit.
I know. I was like, I can't be here right now, guys. I gotta go. But yeah, no, Willow was there. Um, Gabe Kidd was also there. I think like right next to her. Steph DeLander, Mance Warner. I ended up getting Steph DeLander's book, which I'm very excited to read. And she signed it for me. She autographed it. 10 out of 10. Really great, really nice person. So
Okay.
I'm very excited for her. Who else was there? There was a lot of people, restaurant. So many people at WrestleCon. And mind you, we were like right in the middle aisle. So as soon as people would walk in, we were like the middle section. So it's like
Okay.
you know, like when you walk into C2E2 and you go through the first and second aisle first because they're literally
Mm-hmm.
right there. That's where kind of we were. So
Okay.
we made sales. We talked to a lot of girls, and it was just a good old time. I saw DS. DS came to the table,
Oh, I did see
and
you took a picture with him.
yes, saw Diaz. He was great. I also saw oh my goodness. There's literally so many people. So many people. But I was there from 9 to 12. It was a great time. She Lo honestly killed it with what she had for merch. Fantastic time. But
Yeah.
then afterwards, what did I do afterwards? So we were going to switch off. So somebody was going to come in and take my spot for that Friday. Um, and also they were going to take Low spot because then afterwards, immediately, Lo and I were going to have our Chardonnay and Cheesemay meetup
Mm-hmm.
at Vegas Vicky's. So we drove, I think Lowe's cousin and Rachel came by to like switch out with us. And I also saw Lowe's mom, said hi to her. That's my other bestie. Love Karen. Shout outs to Karen if she's listening to the pod right now. She's probably not.
Shout outs to Karen, even though she doesn't know me.
She would like you. Karen is 10 out of 10.
You know what? I hope so because Lo has a very intimidating aura, but in a good way,
Hmm.
in a very good way. Like the type of woman that you just don't mess with. So I can't imagine how her mom is. I cannot. So I really would hope that her mom would like me.
I'm dead. So yeah, at 1 o'clock from 1 to 3 was our meetup. So we headed over to Circa, and we had our Chardonnay and Cheesemay meetup, and we had rest friends. Like people came out to just talk about wrestling with us. I met so many new people, and we got so many new followers. So shout outs to everybody who's a new follower, who's a new listener. Thank you so much. Very excited to just be able to
Yeah.
chat with people about wrestling. We had our very own drink, which was the Wind Down Slamgria. It was
Hmm.
it was fantastic. I had two of them, and
Okay.
mind you, I had not eaten yet, so I should probably not have had those two. But it was great. Ten out
How
of
were you
ten.
feeling? How were you feeling even though you hadn't ate
Best friend,
anything?
I this everything that I didn't eat and that I didn't do will culminate on Saturday. So wait till we get to Saturday.
Okay.
So mind you, we didn't have water fountains at the link. None that we found. So we had vending machines with water and like Gatorades and stuff. And
$20 water and stuff.
yeah, and I was not hydrating myself properly.
Hmm.
And I was drinking, and we were also not eating as frequently as we should have been.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up having dinner after the meetup with all the girls. So it was me, Kelsey, Rachel, Lo's cousin, Nessa. Literally, it was like six girls. We were all having dinner, having a good old time. And I ordered vodka pasta from this place we went to, Cassie's. And I had been to Cassie's before. 10 out of 10 food. The
Mm-hmm.
pasta, 10 out of 10, which is why I ordered it. It was so delicious. And of course, big ass plate, can't finish it, can't take it home because we have no microwave, no refrigerator. So of course, I left half the food. And honestly, I think that was also a big problem too, because if I would have had a fridge and a microwave in my room, easily I could have just saved
You
up the
would have
food that I
ate.
wasn't eating, and I could have had my breakfast, could have had my late night dinners, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would have been just so convenient. So we ended up going back to the hotel after Cassie's to change because we had to go to Joey Janela's spring break. And
Okay.
that was 10 out of 10. I love the way that Joey Janela books. You know, I love Joey Janela, best friend.
You do.
Love Joey Janela. So it was me and Lo. We were sitting together, and Nessa and Kelsey were sitting on the other side of the arena. And I want to say, I don't know if Rachel went. I don't know. There was a lot going on, but we went there. It was a great show. Got to see Zack Sabre Jr. again.
Okay.
Period. Honestly, I thought there was going to be. I think there was a meet and greet afterwards, but it was like located somewhere else, and I was like, we already have plans. Like I said, we have our agenda split up by hours, so we have things to do. Joey Janela's
Period.
spring break started around 7. I believe it ended around 10. So
Okay.
afterwards, we're like,
Whoa.
I don't know. So we went back to the hotel to not to change. We went right from there to the Nerd, which for people who don't know what the Nerd is, it's a club. It's a little bar. It also has bowling lanes. It has a giant animatronic. Is animatronic the right word? You know, like a bull ride.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they have that, but it's a penis.
Oh, okay.
And they also
Okay.
have some like old school, just like props and outside. It's in a mall area, so if you go outside of the Nerd and you get to see like a couple stories down, there's like a wrestling ring and people have wrestling shows.
Okay. I've
There-
seen
just
photos.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like just a bunch of
Uh-huh.
malls all together. It's kind of like, you know, when you go to Macy's restaurant, the Macy's downtown, and like it's in the middle.
See.
It's kind of like that. Kind of like that.
Okay.
So we went to the Nerd because Joey was having an after party. Joey Janela was there. I said, "Great show, Joey." He said, "Thanks." So shout outs to you, Joey Janela. Let me tell you what
Is that
happened. Oh,
okay?
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, is that where -1 came out? Is that where he had
That's
his
the
match
next
with?
night. That's the
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I was at the other night, mind you. That was so long. It was so long.
Mhm.
But so we're at the Nerd having a good old time. We get our drinks. We're there for a very short amount of time. But let me tell you what happened. As soon as we walked in, Lo walked in first. Then I walked in second. Lo turns around and is like, "Listen to me. I'm going to tell you something right now. Zack Sabre Jr. is to the left of us." She said, "Don't freak out." So she gave me like a disclaimer, and I immediately looked to the left, and I was like, "Oh, it's Zack Sabre Jr." And I was like, "Okay, cool, got it, thanks." I love that she gave me the warning because
Right. I mean,
maybe I would have panicked. Maybe I would have had a heart attack right then and there. Who knows? Love Zack Sabre
you would have
Jr.
turned around like
I would have been like, Zack
Jr.'s
Sabre
right next to
Jr.
us.
I would have been like that time. Did I tell you about? I think I told you about that time when I was at WrestleCon and I was excited to see William Regal, and he finally walked
Yeah.
in, and I was like, "William Regal!"
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen this time around. But so I see Zack Sabre Jr. and I'm like, cool. Zack Sabre Jr. lovely. And I'm waiting for the rest of the girls to come in. Zack Sabre Jr. comes up like right next to me, restaurant, and I was like, "Do I ask for a picture?" I was like, "We're literally right by the door. This is good lighting. Like, do I ask for the picture now? Do I ask for a selfie?" And I was like, "No, I can't ask Zack Sabre Jr. right now. Like, he's in his chill time. He's in a black regular shirt, black shorts. Like, I'm sure he doesn't want people to come up to him and bother him." So the Nerd is very small. And when it gets
Mhm.
packed, it's very small. So me being by the entrance, and then that's like if him not having to go around, um, we kind of just bumped into each other. Like his elbow touched my elbow, and I was like, "Oh, Zack Sabre Jr." Like, so that was the closest that I got to Zack Sabre Jr. all weekend. But that's the story.
You know what? Props to you for not asking for the picture. I wouldn't have been mad at you for asking for a picture. I wouldn't have judged you. But at the same time, it's like, okay, best friend, you te controlaste. You were like,
But you know what's crazy? Other
no.
people got pictures with Zach. He was
Oh,
fine.
I bet they did.
He was fine to take pictures with them. And I was like,
Was he?
damn. No, because he was smiling his little heart away.
Okay,
I was like,
okay.
damn. But anyway, we did kind of like another lap, and we're outside. We're watching some of the matches, and also ELP was there at the Nerd. He was with Zach, so they were just kind of hanging out with each other.
Of course.
And I was like, oh my god, are they besties? Like,
I won't believe.
listen, they're probably besties.
They're both silly. I could see them being besties.
They probably are besties. Not they're both being silly. So yeah, we were just chilling outside, and then Nessa, she's like, oh my god, I hear music. I want to go where the music is. And she's like, let me go ask how much the cover is for that other place. So I think it was like a $10 cover, and it was called, oh my god, what was it called? Raised by wolves. Raised by Coyotes. Oh my god, I don't know exactly what the fucking name is. I'm so sorry, but that place was great. Wonderful music. We were dancing. It was just us girls. You know, we were just having a good old time. Cute,
Okay.
small enough place that you're just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, there's not a shit ton of people in there. But it was just such a good time. Such a good time. And I think again, it's because it was just us girls. We were all together, and we were just enjoying each other's company, having a good old time.
Period.
So really, really good time at that little club. And there was an after party somewhere else too. Oh, lying. So we went to an after party before that, before we got to the Nerd, and it was just not vibing. It was
Okay.
not vibing.
That's why you didn't talk about it. That's why you
Yes,
forgot.
that totally forgot. So we went there before, and we walk up, and I see a man that I think I recognized, and it is Kevin Kellum, best friend from Sports Kita, from Q101.
Q101.
I was gonna say KQX, but that's not what it is anymore, I think. So I see Kevin, and mind you, Kevin, last time I saw him, knocked over my popcorn at a show. And I was like, Kevin, what the fuck? But so I go up to him, and I'm like, oh my god, he doesn't see me. And you know, the running gag with me and Kevin, or with Kevin and us, is that he sees us and acts like he doesn't know us.
Yes, absolutely. Every single time.
Or acts like we work at the event, or some random stuff, or he's yelling at us. But so I'm like, oh my god, I'm with the girls. I was like, guys, let me 1 minute. I'm just gonna step away and say hi to Kevin real quick. So I go, and Kevin is like looking at something random, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, are you gambling? And Kevin turns around. He's like, oh no, I'm so sorry, I'm not. He's like, I'm not gambling. And then he looks at me, and he's like, he does his little face, best friend. He's like, be so serious right now. But he's like, actually, can I get a so he was like talking to me like I was a waitress, and I was like, haha, Kevin, you're so funny. And he gives me a hug, and we start chatting, and he's like, oh my god, he's like, how did you enjoy the show? Like, what have you been up to? When did you get here? We're just catching up, right? And he's like, I have to buy you a drink. And I'm like, no, Kevin, you absolutely do not have to buy me a drink. I have to go. My girls are waiting for me. And he's like, no, like, come on, like, let me get you a drink. So I was like, okay, Kevin, peer pressure. So I was like, okay, I'll let you get me a drink. So he got me a drink. Shout outs to Kevin for buying me a drink. I asked the bartender, I was like, do you have anything? I was like, what's your sweetest drink? Like, what do you have? Because I'm a sweet drink girly. I cannot have a bitter drink.
Okay.
I know you are not the same way, restaurant. I have to have like the sweetest drink.
Yeah, no, I can't. I need that quick cranberry vodka. That's it. Like,
I can't. So she was like, oh, what about a Sex on the Beach? And I was like, sure. I don't know what the fuck is
I'll take a Sex on the Beach.
Sure. Give me that. And it was fantastic. Holy shit. Oh my God. Incredible. So I'm like drinking it, having a good old time. And then I'm like, all right, Kevin, for real, I gotta go. And he's like, oh, okay, like, where are your girls over there? And I'm like, yes. So I left, said thank you to Kevin. We took a quick picture, and then we moved. Then we went to the Nerd. But between then, you can drink in the middle of the street in Vegas. So I was like
Right.
finishing my drink, having a good old time. I walked into Walgreens with my drink, was drinking it, no problem. The only thing you can't do is walk into another establishment with that drink. So you can't
Okay.
walk into another bar with that drink that you bought somewhere else. So I had to chug my drink, whatever I didn't finish, which was like maybe like this much. I left it outside the Nerd, and then I walked into the Nerd to get another drink, but it was just water because I was like, I can't.
Okay.
Like I can't. So anyway, yeah, we walked out of the Nerd. We went to that dance club. We danced for a little bit. It was a great, great time. And then I want to say then we went back home. I don't remember us doing anything else after the Nerd. Mind you, it was like
I
2 in
mean,
the
that was
morning.
already a long day.
It was 2 in the morning, I believe. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was late. Yeah, because Joey's after party started at 11. So by the time we got there and did everything, it was a done deal. So
Yeah.
Saturday, I had told Lo, I was like, oh, I'll help you I'll help you do WrestleCon again. Mind you, I got up at 8. And that's what time I should have been at WrestleCon. And I messaged her and I'm like, Bestie, I'm not making it.
You're like, I can't.
I was like, I can't. My eyes are red and I'm exhausted. I couldn't even talk. Like, because the air is different over there, and with all of the drinking and with all of the yelling at the wrestling shows, it takes a toll on your voice. So
Hmm.
I had planned to be at WrestleCon, but what I ended up doing is I went to the WWE Superstore. It was WrestleMania day, and in my head, I'm like, there's not going to be a lot of people there. It's WrestleMania. There's not going to be anybody at the Superstore. Wrong. So Nessa hits me up, and she's like, hey, are you going to the Superstore today? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, can I come with you? And I said, perfect. Come down. Let's go. So very minimal outfit. And we Ubered to the Superstore, which was about maybe like 15 minutes away. It's a
Hmm.
15-minute drive. And we get there and we're like, hey, we get dropped off in the Uber section. And I guess it's still a pretty much like a long walk. So the guy who was there was like, hey, you can cross the street and do this, this, and this, or you can go downstairs. We have Teslas that take you directly to the space. And we were like, what? Let's do that. So me and Nessa, we go downstairs, take the escalator, and sure enough, there's like 6 or 7 Teslas in this like tunnel hallway. And we're like, hey, we need to get to the convention. The ride is free, right?
Okay.
Ride is free. So you get on the Tesla, and it's like these small tunnels illuminated by strips of light.
Oh,
And
it's the tunnels I've seen online.
yes, so they take you through these tunnels on a free ride. The guy's playing music. It's like we were in space, restaurant. It's like I was watching Tron, and I've never watched Tron, but I'm guessing that's what the movie's like.
Okay.
So we get there, leave the tunnel. The sunlight is coming out. You see the convention sign. And he's like, all right, ladies, we're here. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. We literally right in front of in front of the convention center. And there were so many people there. Holy shit. People were coming out with their championship titles. People were coming out with 2 or 3 bags. And we walk in, again, packed, see the WWE World playing music super, super loud. Mind you, I was like, man, do I really want to pay money for it right now to go in? And I could have, but I just didn't. I didn't do WWE World, which I feel like I should have now that I'm thinking about it, because they had a bunch of John Cena stuff and it's his last year and I feel like I should have done it. But
Aw.
I didn't end up doing it, but I did do the shop. So saw the shop. Again, packed. There was 3 lines to get into the store itself. Super, super long lines. And they were letting people go like, oh, line 1. All right, we'll stop. We'll take half of you. All right, line 2, we'll take half of you. While each line reloaded with like people. And people kept coming in. So it was insane. But you go in and immediately they started playing John Cena's theme song as I was walking in, Rest Friend. So I took that as a sign. I was like, oh my God, for me, and you see it in the vlog too, I lose my shit, Rest Friend. Like, it's so, so cool. So you walk in, there was a shitload of merch, shit ton of people. They had custom hats that they were making and embroidering. They had custom t-shirts and jerseys that you can get. They had every single WrestleMania match that was going on. They had program books. They had pillows, Funko Pops, action figures. So much shit. I didn't even know where to look. Like,
Yeah.
plus that and being packed, I was
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ. But I ended up getting a WWE sweater that had like WrestleMania on the back. It had WrestleMania in the front. It had some stuff on its on the handle, on the arm, on the sleeve. And I think that was $60. And I
It's
was
not
like,
bad.
not too bad, but yes, expensive. But honestly, it's my favorite sweater. I've been wearing it for 3 days now.
Best friend, I mean, I know that it's not just K-pop, but every single K-pop concert I've gone to, hoodies are over $120.
Oh my
Any
God.
sweater, any hoodie, any long sleeve.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, that is not bad.
It's
I would expect more from WWE,
it's
like for it
not
to be more
bad, but no,
expensive.
like the John Cena jerseys were like 150.
Okay, that's
Like,
crazy.
yes. So I guess it just depended on like what you were trying to get. Because
Yeah.
they did have like some heavier material like stuff, and I think that was a little bit more expensive. Like the custom jackets and stuff, maybe like $200. Which I was like,
Okay.
not bad, but like it's a specific WrestleMania one. I would get it if it was like a WWE type of
Okay.
jacket, but I was like, to be just specific WrestleMania, I don't know. I don't know if I would spend the money on it unless it was like a Chicago WrestleMania one, right?
Okay.
Like,
True.
yeah. So they did have some really, really cool stuff though. Um, it was just packed and you couldn't really move and you couldn't really get in. I ended up also getting a like old school WWE t-shirt, but I had to get it in the kids section because they didn't have it in an adult section. Also, the
Okay.
kids kind of had better merch, which I was
What?
like, what the fuck, man? They had like cute little like gray t-shirts that had like dice wrestling, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
oh, that is so cute, like that's really girly. Why is that not available in an adult size? And the same thing, the shirt that I was looking at, they also didn't have it in a adult size, so I had to get a kids extra large.
Well, okay, okay. Thankfully, you can get a kid's extra large and that fits you right. But it's like the people that are coming to this WrestleMania to see John Cena, we're old.
Best friend, also,
Why?
yes, also, yeah, I'm saying like when I go to a merch store and the largest size is a large, I'm like, be fucking for real.
That part as well.
Know your
Yeah.
demographic, and you need to be inclusive to all fans. I need the shops. You need to go at least to a 4XL, at
Yes.
least, with the
Yeah.
jackets, with the sweaters. And I get it, there are people who are extra small, but I was like, be so fucking for real. You don't need 5 extra smalls on this goddamn rack. Crazy. But I also ended up getting a program book. I got
Uh-huh.
one last time in Philly, and the program book has like literally all the match posters. It has some Hall of Fame info. It has a really great picture of Ricky Starks and Ethan Page. So 10 out of 10 score. And
Okay.
what they didn't have was souvenir cups, Rest Friend. And you know I love my souvenir cups.
Wait, am I tripping? I thought that's what you posted on your stories.
Yes, but I got those at the arena.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and I was looking for them at the superstore. They didn't have them. And I
Yeah,
guess they
because usually they'll sell them, right?
yeah, and they didn't really have a lot of stuff either. Like a lot of the in between of the clothes racks, you know how they have like just little stations where they have the bracelets and they have the pins and they have just stuff like
Oh,
that. A lot of those spaces were empty, and you would see people come by and like try to refill them, but as they were being refilled, like people would take the stuff, right?
oh, that's
So they couldn't
crazy.
even keep up with the inventory, which that shit
Hmm.
was crazy for me.
That is crazy.
Crazy
It's so
stuff.
crazy for me imagining because I mean, I saw the videos. I saw how packed the stadium was. I saw the videos of when people were going to the WrestleMania shop. What is it called again?
The superstore?
The Superstore.
Hmm.
I saw there was a lot of people, and in my mind, I'm just like, we go to C2E2, and that's a bunch of fans of different fandoms, right? Different people are into different things. This is just pro wrestling. This is one show, and there's a ton of fans basically having their own convention. That's crazy.
Restaurant, picture C2E2 on Saturday. That's what the superstore was like.
That's crazy. Again, just WWE pro wrestling fans. Like
Mhm.
that is crazy.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we have to get ready for the cabana for the pool party at like this time because WrestleMania over there, it's 2 hours earlier over there. So
Right.
WrestleMania started at 4, I believe.
Right.
So here it started at what, 6, 7?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Six.
yeah, it started at 4 over there. So we're like, okay. it was like 11, 12. We're like, let's leave so we can get something to eat before we go to the cabana. So we go back kind of the same way that we came through. Mind you, this is where the issue started. This is where me and Nessa were sharing one brain cell
Mm-hmm.
because we were not allowed to leave the same way that we entered the place. So we're like, okay, we get to the little Uber spot. Um, and the Uber is like, oh, we're picking you up in the in lot E or something. And we're like, what the heck is that? Like, where is even lot E? So we are trying to take the Tesla back to get us to that area, and the Tesla misses our stop. The Tesla keeps going in the tunnel to a different place, and I didn't say anything. And I'm like, okay, well, like wherever we get dropped off, like we can just Uber back because we don't know anywhere in Vegas either way. Nessa didn't say anything because I didn't say anything. So we're both just sitting in the Uber in the back of the Tesla. We're like not saying anything to each other. And we get off. And I was like, Nessa, we missed our stop. And she's like, I know you didn't say anything, so I didn't say anything. And I was like, Nessa. So we were literally cracking up about we're just girls. We're just
Right.
girls. What the fuck? What are we supposed to do? So then instead of going back to the Uber and letting them know, hey, we missed our stop, can we go back one more? Instead, what the fuck do? We cross the street into a parking lot somewhere else. And that's why we're like, okay, that's where we're going to get the Uber. And again, the Uber is like, hey, you're going to go to the bronze section. And we don't know what the fuck that is. So we go back to where the Teslas are, tell the lady, hey, where do we go for this place? And we get on the right Tesla. The Tesla, takes us to where we were supposed to stop originally. And we walk to the main spot where we got dropped off. And the guy's like, yeah, it's not here. You're actually going to walk a mile over there to the other side. And that's where you'll get picked up.
Not a mile.
We ended up walking a mile. Got our steps in for that day. It was hot as fuck. And then we got picked up. We went back to the hotel. We went to In-N-Out Burger. Great stuff. Honestly, mid fries. Unless
They looked mid.
Mid fries, unless you get like cheese and stuff on top of them. The burger, also all right. It's fine.
I've never had In-N-Out, and just looking at the pictures, the burger looks okay.
And let me tell you, best friend, you don't have to go to In-N-Out.
You know what, best friend? I'm not dying to try it. Thank you for letting me know, but the fries do look mid as fuck. You know what? They look less than mid.
Yeah, I think they're the worst fries that I've ever had.
When we have Portillo's fries, you're probably like, you know what? This ain't it.
Best friend. Portillo's fries, I think, are still better.
I love me some Culver's fries.
Culver's fries, yeah. Portillo fries, I don't know. But
Portillo's fries with the cheese.
What I will say, those workers earn their paycheck. Jesus Christ. They have
because it's packed.
Yes, packed. We couldn't find a seat inside or outside. Nessa and I had to sit at the fountain. So there's a little fountain that's outside there. Beautiful view. But it was so hot outside, very sunny. But 10 out of 10. So afterwards, we go back to our hotel rooms and we're like, all right, cool. See you in a couple minutes. Because we just have to change and then go to the cabana. So we changed into like these not beach outfits, not like swimsuits, but like casual enough because we know we're going to be outside by the pool. So I changed into like some shorts and like a little crop top and just like something to cover over it with some sandals. And I put my hair half up, put my sunglasses on, put some sunscreen on. And that's the same thing. She had a cute little outfit. And we took an Uber to the place where the cabana was going to be at. And this is where I gambled for the first time. I was finally able to gamble. Put my $20 in, walked out with $35. Period.
And that's when you cash out and you leave, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I did.
It's just $35, but
I was like, I made $15. I'm cashing out.
Yes, exactly. That's smart, restaurant.
I made $35 and like 30 cents, but the machine that I took my ticket to. So what happens in Vegas, or I guess anywhere, right? In a casino. You cash out, it gives you a little ticket and it tells you how much money you have. You then take that ticket to like an ATM machine in the casino. You put that ticket in and then it gives you the cash for it. If it's a bigger amount, you go somewhere else. You have to go to like the front desk or whatever. Mine was only $35. So it was like $35 and some change. And then I get my $35 and it was like, this machine does not give out change. And I'm like, excuse me, I made 30 cents.
They just take your fucking 30 cents.
The fuck? Me debes.
And
Me
you're,
debes, Vegas.
oh, hell no. And you know
Crazy.
they're making bank by taking people's cents. Because
Absolutely. That's how they get you.
that's how they get you. That's crazy.
So, yeah, I didn't get my 30 cents back, but we ended up all going together. We waited for all the girls and we walked in. They gave us our little wristbands. Mind you, we had a free cabana.
Uh-huh.
Lo knew somebody over
Okay.
there. We got into the cabana for free. Walked in, stadium swim in Circa, and it was beautiful. I had never seen anything like it. It was one massive screen and then four massive screens next to that one. And it was like one, two, it was like four pools and people just laying out on the top of a roof in like the little lawn chairs. There was bars, there was drinks, there was food. Oh my goodness. It was just so beautiful. So beautiful. And it was hot and it was amazing because all the girls were there having a good old time. And when we
Yeah.
got there, Jay Uso was already fighting Gunther.
Hmm.
So we kind of just missed a little bit of that. But man, what a great place to watch a WrestleMania. And mind you, we didn't go to WrestleMania night one. We had to pick a
Hmm.
WrestleMania to go to because shit was expensive.
Uh-huh. I saw.
Expensive. So I had made a choice. I was like, okay, if I'm going to Mania, I mean, I'll go for the 2 days, but I was like, but the cabana with the girls, let's do that. And then I will go night two for Cena because I can't miss Cena. So that's the choice that I had made. Um, but being at the swim, at the swim stadium or stadium swim or whatever it was called,
Hmm.
um, it was amazing. It was amazing. We had margaritas. And let me tell you, this is where my dehydration played a factor because I'm sitting there. There's six girls. We're kind of divided into two lawn chairs, like really long ones. So it was three and three, right? So me, I was
Uh-huh.
all the way sitting in the back, and then we weren't really covering each other's vision because there was five screens. So no matter where you sat, how you sat, you could see something. So
Okay.
I was sitting there and I'm readjusting myself. Mind you, my feet like se duermen. They fall asleep easily, right? If I'm in an
Hmm.
uncomfortable position. So I guess I was just moving around too much. My left leg starts cramping from my thigh. And I'm
I
like,
hate
what
that.
the fuck? So I'm like, okay, weird. And I'm moving around. My other leg starts cramping. And I'm like, oh my God, not both of my fucking legs right now. And I was like massaging. And no matter what position I was putting my legs into, they were not having a good time. Like
Hmm.
cramping, but like painfully cramping, rest friend. So
Hmm.
I had to get up and me estaba acomodando and like Rachel, one of the girls, she was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, do you want me to move? And I was like, Rachel, you're fine. I'm literally dying. I was like, you're fine. I'm dying. Let me just get up. So I got up for a little bit and kind of si se calmó. And then when I got back down to sitting down, I feel them wanting to start again. So I was like, holy shit. But I had been dehydrated. So then I was talking to the girls. I'm like, the only time I drink water is when we eat and
Hmm.
we have not really been eating. And I was like, otherwise, I've been drinking. Like,
Hmm.
so definitely my legs were cramping. And congratulations, I played myself on that one. Because how are you going to party that hard and expect not your legs not to cramp? That was on me.
No, rest friend. I never even thought about the fact that you can get leg cramps when you're dehydrated. I guess that makes sense because I get very painful leg cramps when I'm cold,
Mm,
which I'm rarely cold. But let's say if throughout the day I'm walking barefoot and then I go to bed, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And even if it's not cold, I'm nice and covered. I will get leg cramps at night, and they're so painful. I get restaurant. Literally, like 2 weeks ago, I started a leg cramp on my left leg that later on that ended up moving to my right leg. And I kid you not, I was in bed sobbing. I was crying so hard because it was so painful. Sergio can't do anything. He's just laying there like, what the fuck do I do? I get you, best friend. I get you. The same thing happened to me.
It's
Being in
crazy.
front of people though, like, and I mean, in a place full of people.
Yes. And that's what it is too. I was like, if it was just me and the girls, I'd be like, oh my God, guys, I'm cramping. But we
Yeah.
were literally there. There was other people in the cabana there with us too. And there, of course, everybody's outside. People are walking out and about. People are watching the fucking wrestling match. I was like, Jesus Christ, please, right now. right now, God, for real. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. He's like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson
he's
now.
gonna be like, now, right here at Stadium Swim.
No, that's so crazy. You're better than me.
Craziness.
I think I would have been sobbing because they're so painful
They're
for
so
me.
painful, absolutely. So, Rachel was like, "Hey, like, do you want to go walk?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I went to the bar, and I ended up getting a walking taco, which was fantastic. Oh my god, they gave it to you in like a platter. They put
Yeah.
some Fritos on in like the bottom of the thing, and then they put some cheese. They had put some really delicious carne on their restaurant. I don't know who was back there making it. Had to be a Mexican. Had to be a Mexican because that shit was fantastic. And they put some like cebolla and cilantro on it, a little bit of salsita. Shit was bomb. Oh my god. And we ended up getting shots. Oh my god, what?
I was like, did you drink water?
No, we ended up getting shots after my legs were cramping.
No. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I cannot.
And
I wonder.
I did drink water afterwards, after the shot, but I was like, why? I should have just got a water there.
No, literally. I wonder what the vibe would be if I would have been there. Would I have been the mom? Would I have been like, restaurant, you're drinking water. Que pinche shani que no.
No, but it's crazy because the girls were worried, but me and Nessa had to explain our situation. We don't have a fridge. We don't have a
Yeah, yeah,
microwave.
yeah.
Like,
And I know that, yeah. I know that people on the internet have been complaining about that, how hotels don't have fridges anymore.
mhm.
So people that travel as a, that's how they make money. They got to travel all the time. They're like, where am I supposed to put my food away?
Yeah.
Like, what
Because
the
you're not
fuck?
saving money because let's say that first big meal that I had could have saved
Hmm.
it for breakfast, could
Yeah.
have used that for to fuel my body because I didn't have breakfast on that Friday morning. I
Yeah.
had lunch, so it's
Yeah.
just things could, next time I'm getting goddamn fridge and a microwave. I don't care, I'm paying for it. But yeah, my legs were fine afterwards. We got to finish watching the matches, and let me tell you. So Saturday, Jay Uso beat Gunther, which we kind of knew was going to happen, right? Because I'm like, that visual alone is going to be amazing. The New Day defeated the War Raiders, and let me tell you, we didn't need that match.
Yeah. No,
We did not
I
need to see
agree.
that match. Um, I also didn't really pay attention to that match, so probably also why we didn't need it. Because I was like, I get it, it's a sponsored thing, but this could have been on a SmackDown. Could have been on a SmackDown.
I agree with you. I saw that on Twitter and I agree with you.
Also, we saw Drew McIntyre beating Damian Priest in the Sin City street fight, which they didn't fight in the street. So
I was about to say that.
if you're not actually street fighting, don't call it that.
No, I agree. Like, what is it with matches being called a street fight, but they're not on the actual street? Next time there's like a Chicago street fight match, they better be on the streets of Chicago actually having this match.
I need to see them at the Bean.
I need to see them at the Bean. I need to see them on 26th Street. Like,
Not the 26th Street restaurant. Oh, I'm dead.
can you imagine under the arc on
And I
26th
mean,
Street? That would be
these
dope.
I'm fucking dead.
That would be so dope.
That's so crazy. I'm dead. So Drew McIntyre was on Sunday. I don't even remember that. JK, sorry, I moved the things. Jade Cargill defeated Naomi. Good for
Mhm.
her. Mind you, that outfit,
Yeah.
phenomenal. Holy shit.
Yes.
Such good outfits. I mean, for both of them. We also got to
How do we
see.
f-
Yeah, go ahead.
how do we feel about Jade defeating Naomi?
I'm kind of indifferent about it. I do wish that Naomi would have won, but then also I feel like if Naomi would have won, where would they have gone with it? I feel like now that Jade picked up the win, she can kind of do something and be like, okay, well, I beat you now. Now I'm going for this.
Yeah, but it's crazy because Naomi carried that match. She definitely deserved that win
Oh,
to me.
absolutely. And you know what? I was having this conversation with the girls because there's a lot of people that say, oh, we think like Jade just needs a little bit more time in the ring. Well, we keep saying that every match that she's got.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
She has the presence. We know that.
Absolutely.
We
She's a
know
star.
that she has that. She's a star. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Literally looks perfect, right?
Hmm.
Except the in-ring work, it's like, yeah, we can tell. And especially this match with Naomi, because like I said, you can really tell that Naomi was carrying this match. So for them to give Jay the cargo, for them to give Jay the win, it's like, damn. Man, no, I wasn't upset about it, but I was a little like that Naomi definitely deserved that. That's why I had to bring that up.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, man. Because Jade is such a star.
Mm-hmm. But
And
so is
but
Naomi.
so is Naomi, and
And so,
Naomi
like,
has put in so much work, and we wanted to see her as
yes.
champion again. Like, I would not mind a heel champion on SmackDown, and that person be Naomi.
Exactly, because like you said, she's been putting in the work. Like this storyline,
Hmm.
amazing, beautiful. The in-ring work, amazing. Like Naomi has been working.
Yeah, really
But
has.
hopefully it doesn't end here with her. Hopefully
Hmm.
it continues. Hopefully the story continues for her.
Yeah. We also got to see Jacob Fatu, who defeated the United States
Crazy.
champion, LA Knight, yeah, to win
Crazy.
his title, which I was like, oh my God. We also kind of talked about this. We're like, maybe the bloodline's picking up more gold, right? And Jacob Fatu, I think he's really going to take that U.S. championship and really go with it. This is a really great time for him to break away from the bloodline. Not
Yeah.
completely, but for him to have his shine, because everybody knows he's a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah.
He's got fantastic charisma. Like,
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing.
I think he's what everyone was expecting from
Solo.
Solo.
Yeah. Crazy,
Yeah.
right? Oh my
It is
God.
so crazy.
Oh my God. Moving on, we had El Grande Americano. I fucking hate that. I cannot with him.
I hate
Who
them. Yeah.
defeated Rey Phoenix, who it was originally supposed to be Rey Mysterio, I believe.
Hmm.
And Rey got injured, so the replacement was Rey Phoenix.
Great replacement.
Great replacement, and both Lucha Brothers were had a WrestleMania match, which just
Yeah.
made my heart happy, because I'm like, oh my God, you think about what the whole situation was in AEW. We had a whole episode where we kind of broke down what happened. And do you remember that tweet that Ray had posted, that like, you don't want to stay somewhere where they treat you like like in an inhumane way or something like that? Like, who knows if we'll ever know what that
Yeah.
story is. But
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they're in a place where it seems like they've always wanted to be, where they are respected and they're giving this time to
I
really
hope
be
they're respected.
showcased. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I hope that they're happy
Hmm.
because I saw that clip of Penta crying after Ray's match or
Yeah.
during Ray's match, and that made me so happy for them. When it comes to the Lucha Brothers and WWE, I'm happy for them because you can tell this is something that they've been wanting. But they both show it with so much emotion how bad they wanted to be in WWE because probably because like all of us we grew up watching it, right? Um, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not like that in this match there was someone that Ray Phoenix was going against someone like El Gran Americano and El Gran Americano wins. And obviously coming from two Hispanic women, or at least coming from me, I've been very like, what do you call it? I hate this El Grande Americano persona. I hate it so much. It feels more like they're making fun of it of ¿cómo se dice? Of lucha libre a little bit, or just taking it as a joke rather than giving it some respect
Yeah. And you know what's
and
crazy?
using it as
That they gave that character to Chad Gable, who is a
yeah,
fantastic wrestler.
right.
And I get it, because I feel like when I see him in the ring, I do see hints of lucha, right?
Yeah,
Because I'm
absolutely.
like, oh, like I can see it. It makes sense that you have him go against some luchadors, because
Exactly.
he does fight in that, like, in the quickness, in the heights, in just like how he's able to move in the ring. Totally see it. But yes, I do see what you're saying, and like, it does come off mad disrespectful.
It
Like,
does. Like the things, the little promos that they have, the little, like, oh, all this history behind El Gran Americano. There is no history behind El Gran Americano. He wasn't in Mexico. It's
it's so crazy.
weird.
And it's crazy because a lot of people don't think about it twice. And yeah, they know it's Chad Gable, but they're like, oh, wait a minute, this would make sense if it was like not Chad Gable, right? And it's crazier because if you would have given that story, that song, which is very Mexican in itself with the mariachi, and even the entrance when they had the mariachi come out, I was like, oh my God, this is what I've always thought about for a WrestleMania if I was ever wrestling, right?
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
like, I would come out with mariachi. Like, I'd be Mexican as fuck. And
Yeah.
if you gave that to a regular luchador who was actually from Mexico, you would be like, man, this is a fantastic presentation, a fantastic
Hmm.
entrance, like, and it's for Chad Gable.
Yeah, yeah. Like I understand the whole. I have a sense of humor. You know, when something's funny, I think it's funny. When something is entertaining, I think it's entertaining. No, that really leaves a bad taste in my mouth,
But you know what's
and I
crazy?
really needed to say that.
I think what we're really, I mean, I guess for me, I'm not gonna speak for you, but for me, what's really offensive is that a lot of
Hmm.
the stuff in the video package does seem very authentic. Like the music authentic, the story
Exactly.
authentic, and you're giving it to a white man?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think for me it comes out more as like they're making fun of it rather than paying some respect or homage to lucha libre because they made something up that's not real and gave it to a white character.
Yep.
And then plus the whole Gulf of America thing, the whole thing, it just I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. I'm not a fan of it. I was upset that Ray Phoenix lost to that character, but at the same time, watching how happy Phoenix and Penta were, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna forget about this fucking match. That's all I'm gonna do.
I'm hoping that the overall payoff for this is going to be all the luchadores teaming up against
Yeah,
Chad, and to be
yeah,
like, this is not real, bro. Like, you are
yeah.
stealing from us. We are the real luchadores. We are the real grande americano because, we're here in America, but this
Living
represents
the
us. Yeah. So I'm
yes,
hoping that it kind of like goes that way.
me
But
too.
this is no disrespect to Chad Gable because we love Chad Gable. This is a
Yeah,
definitely a fucking creative issue.
for sure. Whoever the fuck is coming up with this whole storyline and character, two middle fingers up to you for real.
And
Seriously.
I'm dead. All right, next match we got to see the women's championship match. We got to see
The
Tiffany
hot
Stratton who
mess.
defeated Charlotte Flair. This match was fantastic. Holy shit.
This match was a hot mess for me.
Chris,
The moment it started.
honestly, I agree with you. But I think that's why I loved it so much because
Okay.
there was so much story that went into this match and you could really tell that there was issues. Um yes, issues with some stuff that was going on in the ring, but issues personally. You can
Yes.
kind of tell when a hit is a hit, right? And that's what was going on here. And that's what made it for me that added element of interest because I was like, oh, shit. Like, wait a minute. What's going on here? So that was what I was experiencing. What were you experiencing, restaurant?
No, the same as friend. Literally, the moment that the match started.
Hmm.
Okay, first of all, I didn't watch this live, right? Because I wasn't home.
Yeah.
But when I saw it later on after WrestleMania was over, as soon as the match started, I was like, oh, Sergio had told me, by the way, he had told me before I even watched it, like, oh, the women's match, Tiffany and Charlotte, like it was a little bit, you can tell there was real
Yeah.
issues in the ring, right? As soon as the match started, I'm like, what is going on with these girls? It's like they couldn't agree with who was going to be taking the hits. So they were both hitting each other. They they both got off the ring at the same time. You can tell that they didn't want to take each other's hits or anything.
Yup.
That was crazy. You can definitely tell the real beef in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, you could really, really see it. And it's like, dang, that really does add to it.
Yeah, it really does.
Really does
But I'm
add to the
glad you
match.
thought it was entertaining.
I was entertained. Hell yes. Especially after my
Well,
leg
you
cramps. I'm like, yes, women, fight it out.
well, you know what? Tiffany's entrance.
The
That was
Barbie
dope.
boxes took me the fuck out, Russ friend.
I bet. I thought about you. I'm so confused. I'm so surprised you didn't bring that up right away because I thought about you the moment the Barbie boxes were exposed.
I love Barbie, and she does look like a Barbie. You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Her and Charlotte continue to come out in the same colors. That kind of
Yeah.
pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I'm
No.
like, I get it. You're thinking about your outfit way before, but this has happened before. Like the last SmackDown promo, they came out in like the black lace with
Yes.
with the underwear kind of like showing, and I'm like, okay, a slip up is fine. I know that, but that also goes to show like they have similar styles.
Yeah. Well, you know what, restaurant, you know how sometimes you don't like people that are like you? You know, does that ever
Yeah.
happen to you? Do you ever feel like you've met someone and you don't realize they're like you until like I don't know, later on where you're like, wait a minute,
Hmm.
I don't like this person. And it's because they're literally like me. I feel like
Exactly.
that's Tiffany and Charlotte.
Yeah. Ah,
Like they're
man.
too alike.
They're too alike, and I maybe they'll get over it sometime.
Hopefully, they should be besties.
Maybe. You know what? I think they'd be great besties
I think they would be. They would make such a cool duo.
because they're both badass wrestlers.
Exactly, they're both badass
Maybe they
wrestlers.
need to. You're right. Maybe they need to stop fighting each other and stop fighting and start fighting with each other.
Exactly,
Mm.
exactly. Gorgeous, beautiful blonde women that need to get along. Get it together.
Get it together,
Get it
please,
the
for the
fuck together.
sake of us. Let's talk about this main event because this shit was phenomenal. Oh my god, I could have watched this for 3 hours. So,
Okay.
Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns in a triple threat match. This was not for a championship, just a regular triple threat match, which I don't have problems with triple threat matches. I think they're fun,
No,
entertaining for
me too.
So we're watching this. We're by the pool. The sun has gone down. It's like nighttime, so there's a nice little breeze from the heat, which was perfect. And I had my stomach full because I'd eaten my walking taco. Didn't finish it, so I couldn't take it back home. I'm gonna talk about that for the whole episode about how I didn't have a way to fucking store my food. But man, everybody was super invested into this match, and you know, our what we had said was we think CM Punk was going to get it, right? We want Rollins to win, but they're going to give it to CM Punk. CM Punk hasn't won a WrestleMania match. And boy, were we fucking wrong.
Yeah.
I was happily surprised. So of course, it comes down to Paul Heyman brings out a chair and you're either picking Roman or you're picking CM Punk and like what's happening. So I believe he gives it to Roman. Roman starts laughing like, ha ha ha,
Yeah.
it's so funny. Like Paul Heyman ended up picking me, you fucking loser. So, I mean, he didn't say that, right? But in my head, that's what he said to CM Punk. So Roman picks up the chair, hits CM Punk about 3 times. And it's a good old time. Oh no, wait. Am I saying this right? Did that happen?
Yeah, didn't it? Yeah, Paul Heyman gives the chair to Roman Reigns.
Uh-huh.
No,
Okay,
wait.
yes.
Wait.
Yes, he picked Roman first. Okay,
Yes,
this is where I'm
yes.
confused.
Yes,
Okay.
you're right. Yeah,
So
he did
then
pick Roman first.
he gets into the ring and he's like, all right, now you got to hit Seth. Ready. So let me tell you the reason I'm confused. So we're at the stadium. We're watching this. The screens go black. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? Solid 10-15 seconds of the screen going black. People are booing at Stadium Swim. We're like, what's going on? Like, oh my God. You know, we had just saw CM Punk get hit with the chairs. And like, we're like, oh my God, he's going to hit Rollins. We missed. The next thing you know, Roman's on the floor. And we're
you
like,
missed when Heyman low blowed Reigns.
We missed the low blow.
Wow, that sucks.
Honestly, I
that
want my
was
money
literally
back.
what made that story.
Yes, it started back up, and that's when or no, I might have been where Seth was kind of like knocked out like by the ropes. I don't know. Either way, 15 seconds of that match we didn't see. We had to wait for it to get replayed. So next thing you know, Heyman hits Roman, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? What is literally going on? I was so confused, so shook, and I was like, oh my God, are they gonna give it to Rollins? Oh my God. Restaurant, what was going through your head when you were watching this?
First when I was so excited. I was like, what? No, I know that when we talked about WrestleMania and the previous podcast episode, I said that I wanted Rollins to win. And of course, I still wanted Rollins to win that night. But just like you, I thought they were going to give it to CM Punk because, like you said, CM Punk has not won. First of all, this is his first WrestleMania main event. So we're like, he has to win, right? So yeah, when Paul Heyman low blowed Roman Reigns, to me, that was just some of the most beautiful storytelling. That was
Christ.
beautiful.
And then to have Rollins pick up the win.
Yeah.
Literally, people were so excited. People were super excited to watch to watch Rollins win. It was phenomenal. Jesus Christ. 10 out of 10.
I agree.
It was just fantastic. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to see what happens. What's going on next. So we ended up going afterwards. We were like, all right, what's happening? Are we going to eat? Like, what's the vibe? And I had tickets to go to the clusterfuck. I was always gonna go to the clusterfuck, and the girls were tired, and I was like, well, I could go by myself. It's fine. Like, I'll go to the clusterfuck by myself. And Lo was like, no, I'm not gonna let you go by yourself. Like, I'm gonna go with you. And I was like, it's okay. You don't have to. Like, I can go. Because it's I was like, it's late. The clusterfuck starts at 11 p.m. It was barely like 8. So
Okay.
I was like, by the time we go back and change and we eat and we do something, Lo ended up going with me to the clusterfuck. When we get there, the first match is a cage match. El Gringo Loco's in there. And I was like, oh Jesus. Marcus Mathers was in there. Who else? Jimmy Lloyd was in there. There was a couple people, and I was like, oh my God, this is about to be a fucking crazy match. And it was a crazy match. And then it was like maybe 30 minutes before the clusterfuck started, because they had to like redo all the ropes, and they had to take the cage out, and they had to take the chairs and the tables that they used and the doors that they used to break. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Joey, start the fucking clusterfuck. And by the time it started, it was probably like 45 minutes afterwards.
Wow.
But it was me and Lo. We were sitting there, and I was like, well, Megan Bain's going to be in here. I'm pretty sure Joey Janela's going to also insert himself in the clusterfuck. Paul London was supposed to be in there. There was just, I was like, Danhausen's probably going to pop up. So I was like, man, we should see this. And she's like, yeah, we can, like, we'll stay because I want to watch Megan. And I'm like, Joey's probably going to save Megan. He's not just going to bring her out. She's the main attraction, you know? He's not going to waste her on the first 3 people. So we're watching the clusterfuck, and maybe like an hour into it, it was like 1:20 a.m. in the morning when we're at the clusterfuck.
Holy shit.
Mind you, it started like at 11:20, so we had been there for hours, and we had like, who was it? Who came out? Santana Jackson, the guy who wrestles as Michael Jackson, he was there, and it was great. I love watching him. There was a guy in the ring who didn't have any legs. Props to him. There was also a miniature wrestler. What is it? Oh my God, what is his name? I'm trying. Hold on. Let me try to find it.
Hold on, rest friend.
GCW. What is his name? Microman. I was like, I know it's miniature something. His name was Microman.
Okay.
He was in there. And man, there was just a lot going on. Nasty Leroy showed up. And when the time Nasty Leroy came out, Lo was like, all right, we can go. And I'm like, wait a minute. The match is just about to get good. What do you mean?
Not very Nasty Leroy.
I was like, wait a minute. It's just about Nasty Leroy's going to revive everybody. There was just so much chaos, restaurant. There was also JCW showed up, the Juggalo Championship Wrestling. So 4 Juggalos went out there, and there was just a lot. There was a lot. And Lo was like, man, we didn't even get to see Megan. And I'm like, girl, Megan was going to be last. And we saw later online she was. The last 3 people were Joey Janela, Megan, and I think Brody Lee Jr. He made his debut. Chris Bay also showed up. And I guess in the spot was for Brody. But man, what a late night of wrestling for sure on Saturday for us.
It's crazy, restaurant, because literally when both nights when WrestleMania was over, I literally told Sergio, like, how lucky are these biggest people that it's only 8:00 over there and WrestleMania's over.
I was like, the night is young.
That's wonderful. I fucking wish Tony Khan be keeping us up to like 11 p.m. in Hoffman Estates outside of Chicago, and we have nothing to do afterwards. So for you guys to, for it all to be over by 8 p.m., like you said, the night is young. That's crazy. I was so jealous.
Yes, absolutely. It was, but honestly, that's why we're so exhausted every single day.
I was gonna say, and yet y'all were out there till 2-3 in the morning. That's crazy.
Yes. So Sunday comes, and we have the wrestling wind down brunch. So what did I go and do? Did I get breakfast? I feel like I didn't get breakfast any of these days. No. So let me tell you. So me and Nessa were like, oh, okay, like let's meet up downstairs at this time. So we head downstairs. We go to Dunkin'. We get like a quick little like wrap, right? Something like small and a drink. So before we go to brunch, and I'm eating my little sandwich. We're waiting for the Uber. The Uber picks us up, and I'm like finishing my little sandwich in there, and the Uber's like, "Are you eating?" And I was like, yeah. I was like, but I'll put it away. He's like, no, you can eat it. That's fine. Let me just lower down my window because I don't want it to smell like food in here. So I'm like, okay, sure.
Dang, made it
like,
awkward now.
I was like, sorry. He's like, it's okay. Just tell me next time. Next time? What the fuck are you talking about next time? And Nessa's like cracking up, like trying, like we're like not looking at each other because we're a little scared, but laughing on the inside. And then I like wrap my little sandwich because I didn't want him to yell at me again, so I put it in my bag and I zip up my bag. Right, we get to a stop sign. He opens the other window, the other front window, and I'm like, sir, it was a fucking egg and bacon little burrito from goddamn Dunkin'. It's not smelling up your entire car.
Yeah.
So we get dropped off at the brunch, and I'm like, I can't believe that man was yelling at us. Nessa, like, what the fuck? Craziness.
Oh my God, restaurant. Well, did you finish your burrito?
No.
You did finish it. Oh, you didn't.
No, I mean, I had most of it before I got in the car, but I was just having a little teeny tiny bite. It's not that serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Craziness.
Now I'm calling you out and then just making things awkward. Seriously. Like, oh no, you can eat it after he yelled at you.
And then he said, just tell me next time. Next
That took me
time.
out.
Oh, Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my God. He definitely wanted events.
Yeah.
People are always eating in my car and they don't let me
struggling.
know.
He was struggling. So we get to the brunch and it's great. There was pizzas, there was avocado toast, there was drinks, and basically we just networked with a lot of other women who either had a podcast, who were referees, who had their own production studios, their own pods, like a really, really great opportunity for just, to take pictures with women, to really network, just kind of talk to them about what they do to make those connections. And there was a photo booth, so we did take cute little pictures. Lo had some merch that she didn't have at WrestleCon, so she saved that because she wasn't at WrestleCon on Sunday. She was only there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So she had some merch there. She gave out goodie bags, which I told you before we record. I have your goodie bag here.
Yes.
But it was just such a cool event. And shout outs to Lo for being able to do that. I know she had some sponsors. I know one of our friends, Casey, Over the Moonsault, was a sponsor. Also, Lucha Outsiders, Mario, 10 out of 10, which I can't wait for Mario's podcast. And I hope Ryan's on there because I know Ryan was also in Vegas. And I just hope everybody talks about Vegas because honestly, it kicked my ass.
It's like I just want to know. No, I'm very excited to hear about Mario's thoughts on WrestleMania.
Yes. So during the brunch, the girls still didn't know if they wanted to do Mania. So in my head, I'm like, I'm going to do Mania regardless. So let me start looking for my ticket. I'll go by myself. That's fine. Like, I did not come all this way to not go to WrestleMania, to not see John Cena's last match. And I'm so glad that I went because he picked up the title. Even if he didn't pick it up, I would have just been glad to be in the same arena as he was to witness his like retirement year match. So I bought my ticket. And I was like, okay, I kind of know where I kind of want to sit. And I had seen some seats available. And I'm like, all right, I'll buy my ticket here. And there was a girl who was with us, who was there. Her name was Kelsey. And she's like, hey, like, Iridian, I'll go with you. She's like, I think I got a comp ticket from someone for somewhere else. And I was like, great. We'll both be in the arena. We can both Uber there. Fantastic. So then, buy my ticket. Maybe like 40 minutes later, Kelsey comes back and she's like, Iridian, did you buy your ticket already? And I was like, yes. And she's like, oh, fuck. She's like, I just got us 3 more tickets. She's like, I got 3 comp tickets. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, okay, well, I was like, I already purchased mine. I got it on StubHub. So I was like, give those tickets to the rest of our crew so we can all go. So she's like, okay, great. So she's like, it's going to be Lo. It's going to be Nessa, and it's going to be, and I was like, and Rachel, like Rachel will probably go to Mania. So she's like, okay, like, let me talk to them. So then we all got on the same page and we're like, great, we'll all Uber or we'll drive, whatever. We'll meet to this place. And they were literally on the other side of the arena for me. We were all in section 100. I think they were in like the club section. But it was in the 100s area. and I was right by the stage. So anytime the wrestlers came out, I was literally like I saw their entrance. So I was closest to them than I was to the ring. They were closer to the ring than they were the stage. So it was just
Okay.
like we had the opposite views. But I get to the arena, so we kind of split up because I am sitting by myself, so I kind of just separate from them. Buy my popcorn, get my souvenir cup because I was ready to be sat. And my section was great. The guys who were next to me, they were two brothers, and the other ones was like a girlfriend and a boyfriend, and they were sitting next to me in my row. And everyone was like a John Cena fan. So they all had their John Cena merch. I had my John Cena bedazzled merch. And mind you, before we went to Mania, we went to go get a drink. we, we went downstairs to go get a drink, and it was a great time. And yeah, we Ubered to the and we didn't Uber to the Low drove to the arena, I believe. Did we? No, we fucking Ubered because we didn't want to Uber because it was going to be so expensive and it was going to be chaotic. But we actually got there in a pretty good amount of time, and it was set. It was solid. The show was fantastic. I didn't move from my seat once, but the crowd was great. And I honestly think night two of WrestleMania was way better than night one. What do you think about that?
I went like match what? Yeah, I agree. I mean, that is the one that saw entirely live, so
Yeah.
I want to say I really enjoyed the whole thing. Um, of course, there was some matches that I was like, about,
Yeah,
but I think night two was definitely more entertaining
I
for
feel
me. I
you.
agree with you.
Starting off with the women, we had the Io Sky defeating Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair in that triple threat match. So I'm like, shout outs to you, Io.
I loved that match so much. I thought that was a great opener for night two. Would I have loved for them to main event? Of course, but no. John Cena, of course, had to
Mhm.
main event, and Cody Rhodes. But I thought that was a great opener for night two restaurant. I thought the match was amazing. Those girls killed it.
I honestly think those matches should have been reversed. I think Cena and Cody should have opened up the match, should have opened up the
Right.
night, and then have the women main event because that
I
was
mean, it's
fantastic. Jesus Christ.
yeah. I mean, especially the way I know we're going to talk about it, but especially the way it ended. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I agree with you. They should have been switched. But again, to start off night two,
Yeah.
beautiful. Those women did amazing.
I know we mentioned Drew and Damien. I thought this match was on Saturday, but it was on Sunday. Honestly, didn't care for it, especially because it wasn't in the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we got to see, oh my God, this fucking fatal four-way Russ friend. Incredible. Braun
Good.
Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. We had talked about this. We're like, okay, Penta, we would love Penta to win. I was like,
Yeah.
I could see a world where they give it to Dominic. And that's what happened, Russ friend. Literally halfway through the match, people were loving Dominic. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
fucking fake ass fans, you're not real lovers of Dominic Mysterio because I have loved Dominic Mysterio since day one.
Since day one.
Day one, since his appearance. Like, I knew this man was going to be a star. I remember how I told you that I wanted him in the Hall of Fame because technically he's a 20-year veteran. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Dominic. Seeing him pick up the win, everybody was so happy for him in the arena. It
Yeah.
was insane. And then, he won. He comes out a little bit. He's enjoying the moment. And to see him, like, everybody's cheering for him. Like, people were doing their own chants, like, dirty, dirty Dom, dirty, dirty Dom. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I've not heard this one before. This is a new one. Great. Love to see it. Sign me up. But he runs back into the ring to really get, like, a second wind and, like, enjoy the moment. And I'm like, that was just so like heartwarming to see. Like, how did you feel about
Yeah.
Dominic winning?
Oh no, restaurant. That was amazing because okay, I know that we had we both have chosen Penta. Like, oh,
Yeah,
we would have loved for Penta to win, right? For me too, though, I was like, it would have been very nice for Finn Balor just
yeah.
because Finn Balor has been there for so long and they haven't given him a championship. But anyway, point is, Dominic Mysterio fucking deserves that because he went from getting the loudest boos ever in WWE to literally getting cheered so loud, and it's crazy. It's crazy. He deserves it. And not only that, he was taking the cheers. He didn't take it as in like I'm still a heel. Fuck you guys. No, he was taking that shit in, and he was probably emotional. I know I would have been. But the thing that I love about Dominic Mysterio, that even though he's a nepo baby, he has come in and put in that work. because like I said, he was getting booed loudly for a reason. This man knows how to do his job. I definitely think he deserved that win. That was great. The match was, like you said, fantastic. I rarely use that word, but that was a fantastic match. Um, I do want to say though, before we finish talking about Dominic Mysterio, I thought it was very crazy when Finn Balor came out and he didn't get any cheers. I mean, I'm sure there was people in there that were cheering for him, but on TV, you didn't hear anything. Finn Balor came out and it just sounded like it sounded quiet. And I
It
couldn't believe that. I'm like, you guys have the Finn Balor coming out, and this man's aura just it's completely different from like beginning Finn Balor, NXT Finn Balor to Finn Balor now having a match in WrestleMania. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what happened to
the
the
aura
aura
was
that Finn
from the
Balor
aura
used to
from Finn
carry with
Balor is
him?
gone. That's what happened. Because I was sitting down and I was like, oh, it's Finn Balor.
That's crazy, restaurant. That was so very crazy to me. But I did want I like I said, I wanted to talk about that because then
Yeah.
I'm a Finn Balor fan, and that was really, really crazy to me.
Yeah, and
But
it's
yeah,
it's so
Dominic
sad to
Mysterio.
see, kind of like not to see the downfall of Finn Balor because it's still Finn Balor, but it's just like the Judgment Day stuff needs to end immediately.
Yeah.
You need to put Finn back in these matches that are
Ye-
iconic and just let him really go because
I
the breakout star has been Dominic Mysterio of the Judgment Day.
yes.
Yes, you have Rhea
Yeah.
Ripley, but Rhea's not there anymore. Damian Priest, I want to say Damien has had his moment, right? You
Yeah, he
had him go
did.
against Bad Bunny. Um, you had him team with Bad Bunny. Damien has been fantastic. But also I think his time is like, because I feel like with wrestling, you kind of get like a rotation of like when it's people's time, right? I feel
Yeah.
like Damien has also had his moments. Finn had a moment when he won and then he got injured for the
And that's
inaugural
it.
championship, and then that was kind of like it. And I was like, wait a
That's it.
minute, we didn't like it's supposed to rotate, Rhea's on
Mm-hmm.
top, and then Rhea's not on top, and now Rhea's on top again. So it's like just stuff like that. But man, it's unfortunate to see what's been going on
It
with Finn.
is.
But Dominic, insane. Because you know what's even funnier is that he's not a good guy.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
he's not a good guy. He's still heel Dominic, and it's giving MJF. And I am 100% here for it because they had him on a podcast and they asked him about Penta. And he's like, oh, yeah, the guy who does the stuff like, yeah, the bien, pendejo. Like,
Yeah.
instead of like the subtle meal, he was like, bien, pendejo. He's like, that's what that stands for, right? Rest friend, that shit takes me the fuck out. Takes me the fuck out. And then also,
No.
after he won the title, Scott Steiner was in the back in the locker room, and he's like,
Oh
"Hey,
yeah.
hey, hey!" And he was like showing him the title, like yelling the title, and Scott Steiner's like, "Oh, fuck off," or something like that.
Yeah.
I am here for it because people
A
are like,
100%.
people are calling Dominic a scumbag, and specifically that word, and I was like, "Oh my god, we have done comparisons before of like MJF and Dominic," and I was like, I
Yeah.
would go off a whim and say, of course, Dominic is going to be that better heel in like a lovable
Yeah.
heel, a lovable jerk. And people love Dominic. Love
Yeah.
Dominic. So I would say y'all are not real lovers of Dominic like me, but it is what it is. I'm here for what we're gonna see for him. He's already saying that he's the best intercontinental champion, and people are loving it. People are like, yes, you are the best intercontinental champion. He's like, I'm the best Mysterio. I don't need a mask. Look at me. El que es guapo es guapo. And he said that shit.
No, Dominic Mysterio restaurant has my full respect, 100%. I feel like even when he started wrestling, I know a lot of people were very iffy about him. People
Mhm.
wanted to treat him like he's just a nepo baby. He's just Rey Mysterio's son. Who cares, right? But that man, I feel like from the moment he took that and he used it, like, okay, you guys don't fucking like me, I'm gonna do something with it. And he
Yup.
did. And then not only that, but you're talking about his interviews, backstage interviews. I absolutely love that. The moment I saw his first interview where he's speaking Spanish and you can actually tell that he enjoys doing the interviews in Spanish. He's not, you know how sometimes Hispanic people come out, young people come out like, oh, you no sabo, I don't know Spanish like that.
Also,
He didn't.
his Spanish is phenomenal. I know Ray had his
Amazing.
ass in those fucking classes since day one. He's like, no son
Amazing.
of mine is going to speak Spanish terribly.
Exactly. You know what, too, though? I know he listens to corridos, and I'm sure that helps a lot because corridos just treat you a bunch of different words that you didn't know before. So, but no, I agree. I mean, his Spanish is amazing. The interviews are amazing. The in work is amazing. Dominic Mysterio, like you say, 10 out of 10.
Crazy. Oh my God. Fantastic. And right after this match, we got to see Randy Orton issue an open challenge, right? He's like, all right, whoever's here, they're going to get their WrestleMania moment, and I'm ready. Let's see who it is. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so crazy because when I watch back on the screen, they actually had the door like zoomed in to who it
Mm-hmm.
was going to be, and you kind of saw the silhouette, and I'm like, oh damn, you can't tell who it is. For us in the arena, no matter how close you were, you couldn't see who it was going to be. So as soon as the music hit, everybody lost their mind, and I got my live reaction to this because I was like, all right, who's it gonna be, what's happening? And then boom, say his name and he appears. Best friend, I was like, oh my God, it's Joe Hendry. Best friend, big pop for me. I was in my seat like, holy shit. What
I
was
bet.
your thoughts seeing Joe Hendry answer Randy's challenge?
To be honest with you, my first thought was you. I was like, okay, I know Edie is living for this.
You know what's
That was my only thought.
you know what's crazy? I have yet to see a Joe Hendry match. Like a full
That's crazy, but you love the man.
like a full on like match from TNA. I think this was
Yeah.
my first time seeing him in the ring,
Okay.
honestly. I just love Joe Hendry. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I don't know what it is either, best friend, but you do love that
I
man.
love him. He's fantastic. You know what? I think it's the gimmick. I think that he has really transcended wrestling because people who don't know anything about wrestling know Joe Hendry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
they know the meme. They know
They know the
the
song, the
song. Yeah. And he's really been putting in that work. And he talked to, I want to say it was Busted Open afterwards, and they were kind of just asking him like, hey, you sound different in this interview, like what happened, what
hmm
changed last night? And he's like, I got back from the match and I talked, John Cena had just won his match, and he stepped away from what the interviews that he was doing to come and talk to me and say,
Oh,
he's like, you did exactly what I told you to go out there to do, and you are going to be a big player in this game. And I was like,
John Cena, for John Cena to tell you that? That's
that's
crazy.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
And he said, because people online were like, oh my God, well, Joe Hendry got buried. Joe Hendry, this is a bad look for him. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Joe Hendry had a match at WrestleMania as the guy who doesn't work for WWE, as the champion for another promotion. He's fighting Randy Orton, who is a veteran. Randy Orton is a legend. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing to lose to Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding?
I was definitely going to talk about that too. I was going to say how I know a lot of people were upset about it because it happened so fast.
Mhm.
What was it, like 3 minutes and
It
some
was a very
seconds?
short match, yeah.
It happened so fast. But I love that Joe Hendry was like, I mean, you guys can feel the way you want to feel, but for me, I had a match at WrestleMania against Randy Orton,
Yes.
the Viper. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
I love that for him. I love that he took it that way.
Yeah, I know. He's like, this is like the best moment. And he said, he also says that he kind of manifested it because he was also thinking like, I'm going to have a match of epic proportions this year. He's like, I want that for me. I see it for me. And shout outs to him. He
Yeah.
spoke it out into the universe, and it absolutely happened. And he also said that CM Punk had given him like some advice too. He was like, oh, if that match had gone any longer, like it wouldn't have worked out. He's like, but you did great. And he also justified the second RKO that Randy gave him because he's like, yeah, the first RKO solidified it, but he's like, the second RKO, he's like, if you remember when Matt Riddle was accepted into like the WWE or into his tag team partnership, Randy gave him a second RKO and he patted him on
hmm
the chest. He's like, and that's what
Yeah.
Randy did to me. Gave me the second RKO and patted me on the chest. And I'm like, that is just that. Also, they know how other
Yeah.
wrestlers work.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Yeah, the thing too is that I'm happy for him that not only is he happy that all of that happened for him, but it also worked with the people that did like it.
Mhm.
It was everywhere. It was
Yes.
everywhere. Joe Hendry came out and had his moment with Randy Orton. A lot of people did love it, and I want to say that I saw more people loving
Yeah.
that small segment, rather than hating it.
Yeah. And it was also nice to see Randy have fun with the match because
Exactly.
seeing like when Joe Hendry's music hit, you kind of see Randy and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like Randy's a little
It's
bobbing his head a little bit. He was with it.
this is definitely a different Randy Orton that the Randy Orton we saw growing up, right?
Yeah.
Because even I know that we'll talk about it later, but even with like the whole John Cena thing, it's a different Randy Orton. It's so crazy. Like, yeah, he's huge and scary looking. He's huge. Randy
Oh
Orton, I
my
have
God.
no idea how
Randy's
all of a sudden
massive. Yeah.
he got massive. What's it called? But still, you can tell he's having so much fun in this run,
Yeah.
and it's so crazy to see.
And yeah, he even did the Joe Hendry gimmick
The,
thing. Like when he
yeah,
turned
you're
around and
right.
he was like, hey, oh my God. It was just fun. And it was, I feel
Yeah.
like, a much needed moment. I think the original opponent was supposed to be Kevin Owens, I believe.
Oh,
And
right.
then they announced that Kevin was not like fully able to compete.
Hmm.
So I think it was great for them to bring out Joe Hendry. I think, since TNA has a partnership with WWE, this is great. I know we're going to talk
Hmm.
about it maybe a little bit later. We might have to cover it on the next episode. We're like two
On the
hours
next
in. Oh my
episode, yeah.
God. So we might have to do a follow-up episode to this one during the week. But I know we're AAA. Like that's also like a big thing that we also have to talk about.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
they're just picking people up.
Yes, exactly.
All right, let's try to go through these next matches. Jesus Christ. All right, we got Logan Paul defeating AJ Styles.
Uh,
Sorry to say, I did not care about this match. I didn't get up. I was eating my popcorn. This was the match that I was scrolling social media in. No disrespect to AJ Styles because I love AJ Styles. All the
Absolutely.
disrespect to Logan Paul.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with AJ Styles. I don't know how AJ Styles actually really felt about this match,
Hmm.
but a lot of us fans did not care for it. A lot
Hmm.
of us people don't give a shit about Logan Paul. And especially I felt disrespected as a wrestling fan that he defeated AJ Styles.
Yes, absolutely. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
In what fucking world does that make sense?
Yeah, doesn't make sense
That's
to me. The next match we got was Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who were the tag team champions, fighting Lyra Valkyria and a mystery partner. And this is where we saw the return of Becky Lynch, which I was super
Yeah.
excited. I was like, oh my God, it's Becky. I was having the time of my life, first friend, let me tell you.
I love that for you. And I also saw that girl that they showed that was crying. And I just thought about you too. I was like, I know Edie's so happy right now.
Damn, I didn't see that girl crying. It would have been me. If I saw that girl crying, I would have been like, okay, tears are safe
I'm
here.
crying.
Crying in the club.
I feel that so bad, best friend. That's happened to me before. But you know what? I do have my feelings for this match that I'd rather talk about on the podcast next time
Okay.
that we're on here. But I do have my feelings about this match. I couldn't be very excited about her return because of the whole Bailey situation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
we definitely need
wanna
more time about that because I do want to watch that interview that Bailey had
yeah,
with Chris Van Vliet, where
yeah.
she is talking about some certain stuff that she won the Rumble and like, oh, but she's not at the. Ugh, there was just so much going on.
Yes.
But yeah, we have so much to talk about. Jesus Christ, best friend. Okay, we'll
Yes,
get
we
to that.
do.
But what did you think about Becky and Lyra coming out with the win, only to lose them
The next day.
the next day?
Yeah, I honestly don't know how to feel about that. I don't. I don't know. I don't know why they did that. I don't understand. I mean, I'm not mad about it, but I'm also not happy about it because, like I said, I really don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, let's
Yeah.
get to this main event because so I'm sitting there with my bedazzled John Cena jersey. And I'm like, here we go. Here we go. They have the like video package that they do. They got Cena stuff. They got Cody stuff. And I believe Cody was the first one to come out. So Cody comes out. And of course, I'm like, whoa, having a good old time. 10 out of 10. Also, wait, hold on. Before I get to this, let me talk about Randy Orton's theme song. I'll just really quick.
Yeah.
The crowd was singing Randy's theme song. Like it was echoing in the arena. And I was so pissed that the audio crew didn't stop the music so you can hear people sing Randy's theme because that shit was loud as fuck. Everybody was like yelling Randy's music. And I'm like, that just would have been
Okay.
nice for Randy to hear. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure he heard a little bit, but it would have been nice for a Mania moment for him to have that. Anyway, didn't happen.
Okay.
But everybody was singing his song, so that was nice. So then back to the John Cena thing. So John Cena comes out. So it's the same song, which I was like, all right, no Dr. Thugonomics, sure. And it's a black and white font. And I was like, John, if you're really about to give us nothing right now, I can't even with you. And he really just walked out, best friend, gave us absolutely nothing, served no looks, nothing. And I was like, you know what? I wanted something grand, something big for him. But I know he's going to get that before he retires. I was like, John Cena said he was going to do this. He said he was going to give us nothing. He said he was going to make us hate professional wrestling. And I get it. I was like, respect. Out of anything, I would prefer an honest man, a man of his word. And he's a man of his word. So he gave us nothing. And I was not upset about it because that's what he said he was going to do. I get it. But if he was going to give us nothing, The Rock needed to be there. I did not care for the other man who was there. What's his name? Travis?
Yeah.
Travis Scott. Yes.
Travis Scott. I was gonna say Travis Barker. Like I don't know. That's from fucking Blink 182.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
What? That actually confused me more because I was like, now the entrance doesn't make any sense. I was very confused. Mind you, the match was okay. It did get better towards the end because it was like a constant like. John would do something and then Cody would do something and then John was trying to do oh my god, what the fuck is this move called? His submission. Why am I'm blanking?
Oh, John Cena?
Yeah, we're on hour 2 of the podcast, guys. That's why I'm blanking.
Is it the F5 or the other one?
The STF. Right?
STFU or whatever it was called.
Do you remember? So when I was a kid, I remember John Cena had all those shit abbreviated. He was like, it was the FU, it was the FUCK, the STFU.
STFU.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, John. Like,
that's what I know it as. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a whole bunch of shit. But yeah, John Cena picks up the win, Russ friend. And in that moment, in my seat, I want to know your feelings. I really felt. And I had not felt in that WrestleMania. And I know you're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I really, like, truly felt like that I was there. And it was so crazy because I don't think this has ever happened to me in any other show that I've been to live. Where I'm like looking at John Cena in the ring. He's got the title. I'm like looking at the Jumbotron and they're like zooming out to like everybody. People are in the section cheering. And like, I was like tearing up because I was like, holy shit, like John Cena did it. Like I'm here. And it just like, it took me back to when I would watch wrestling as a kid. And I was like so excited to see John as champion. And like the fact that wrestling had like gotten me through so many things. And now I'm like also going through things. And I was at Mania and I got to see John Cena be champion one more time. And I was just like, best friend, I was feeling so many feelings. Like I have no idea. And even just talking about it right now, I'm like going back to like thinking about those feelings. But I was like, holy shit, like I'm here right now watching my favorite wrestlers of all time pick up a win. And everyone is so happy for him. People were cheering John Cena. I don't know what it's like. I know people were booing him, but there was more cheers for John Cena than there were boos. People were booing Cody. Heard it. First friend, I was booing Cody.
What?
I know.
I thought you said you were for both of them, Restaurant. I feel betrayed.
I was for both of them. I was cheering when Cody came out, but then Cody was doing shit in the ring. I was like, boo. Like, I was like, Cody, stop it. You know, like it was just such an emotional match for me, such an emotional experience, just specifically that main event. So I don't care what people say about that main event because it's what I felt that matters to me at the end of the day. So,
that's what's up.
That's what I was feeling. But give me your thoughts on the main event because I know people say it sucked. People say it was ass, and I was upset that The Rock didn't come out. I didn't want him to come out, but I was salty that he didn't. I was like, "You piece of shit! You piece of shit!"
No, I feel you 100% when it comes to The Rock. Definitely my feelings were very different from yours. I am with you 100% with what you said about John Cena. Like you said, I mean, you grew up watching this man, but not only did you grow up watching this man, because I also grew up watching him. You grew up loving this man. This is your number one.
And mind you, I have not rewatched this match on TV, so I know it looked different on on Peacock and
TV.
Netflix than it did
Yeah.
me watching it when I was there. Because of course
Yeah.
the feeling's always different when you're just looking at it in the
Absolutely.
arena. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm with you on that too. But like your whole, we can't tell you how to feel. We
Hmm.
can't tell you how to fucking feel. Like you said, the match was different. We all felt different about the match. But for
Yeah.
you, you're like, I don't give a fuck about Travis Scott. I don't give a fuck about
Yeah.
the way it ended. My man, like, I know that you don't feel
Yeah.
about John Cena in that way, but still, like, you're
Yeah.
like, he won. He got the championship for the 17th time.
Yeah.
He's, I mean, this is a historical man, first of all, iconic.
Yeah.
Like, this man is going to be in the history books forever.
Yeah.
But restaurant, I think the way that the match ended, of course, for us that were watching at home,
Hmm.
I mean, I could speak for us that were watching at home. It was definitely weird. Travis Scott coming out was very confusing, as I know you said it was for you as well. Very confusing. We could have done without that. Absolutely. No matter what, we knew that John Cena was going to win. Why couldn't he win clean? Why couldn't he win? Well, I know that he won clean, but at the same time, it's like, why couldn't it have been without Travis Scott coming out and
It was so
just
weird.
changing the vibe, just changing the vibe to the match. That's what it did.
That's
It
what
changed the
happened.
vibe.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, it was a complete vibe change because you're just like, wait a minute, okay, Travis, and then you're waiting for The Rock now.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
Yeah.
sure. And then last time Travis was in the ring, he busted Cody's eardrum, and I'm like, here we fucking go. Some crazy shit is about to happen. And it just didn't work for me. It didn't
No,
work
it definitely
for me.
did. It definitely didn't have to be. It didn't have to happen at WrestleMania. They could have had him come out at fucking Raw, the next day or something. But at WrestleMania, at, at the end of night two, like, are you kidding me? That for me was whatever. But let's talk about John Cena now. John Cena is the 17th time world champion now. He is tied up. Is he tied up or no, no, no. He beat Ric Flair.
I think it's over Ric Flair, yeah. I mean, I
Ric Flair only
also
has
think
16.
I think they also want to get rid of Ric Flair's history. So they're like, yeah, let's just have John.
I mean, why wouldn't they have John Cena have this record rather than Ric Flair? Like John Cena, who has been more of a positive character to WWE than Ric Flair was. I mean, I feel them 100% if that's the case. But Refren, I feel you when you said that your feelings were different compared to what we were watching from home, or even compared to what other people that were there at the show were probably feeling, Refren, because you were the fan. Um, the person that's been a fan of John Cena forever. You were there for him. You started the podcast by saying that you had to be there because of John Cena. You weren't going to go to Las Vegas and not see John Cena.
Yeah.
And you saying that the feelings were, you were feeling them feelings. I get you 100% because even though it's uh different types of people that we're both into. When I was there for Hangman's win, I absolutely get it. I also haven't watched his match for different reasons. I haven't been able to watch his match. I have the DVD and everything, but I haven't been able to replay it for personal reasons. But being there and witnessing your favorite person winning the championship and feeling those vibes, it's definitely very different. Um, but I could imagine for you, the whole arena cheering for John Cena and being so happy for him, that must have been just a totally different vibe.
That was crazy. It was genuinely crazy. And I'm so glad that I got to experience that. And honestly, I don't know how it would have been if I was not by myself.
Yeah.
Because I guess with being alone, I was like with my feelings and with my thoughts. And yeah, I was like vlogging and stuff. But I was just like, the more the John Cena's, he's holding up the championship, everybody's cheering for him. And I was like, holy shit, like I'm here right now. Like it was like so crazy. It was so crazy. I literally cannot explain it, but my feelings were very, very strong. But I do want to finish off with the podcast talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin because because he came out, best friend, and nobody was expecting Stone Cold to come out. I was like, holy shit, it's Stone Cold. I'm so excited. And it was just, I didn't even, hold on. I didn't know until after the show that he ran into the fucking barricades. I guess I wasn't like paying attention.
Oh
or
my
maybe
goodness.
maybe somebody was like blocking me or something and I couldn't see. But I just know he got into the ring and I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, can I get a hell yeah? And everybody's like, hell yeah, Such a good time. Such a good time. And later I'm watching on social media and I'm like, wait a minute, he ran into a woman? And he didn't even run into a woman. He ran into the barricade. The lady was standing. She ended up just sitting back down in her seat. And everybody on Twitter took that shit and ran with it. They were like, me after Stone Cold Steve Austin hits me, and it was like a SpongeBob meme of the guy who like cracks all of his bones. It was like people in like neck braces and shit. And Nick Khan apparently went to go talk to her afterwards, and I'm like, it's not that fucking serious, right? And people were like, it would be an honor for Stone Cold Steve Austin to hit me with the 4-wheeler.
Run it.
Like,
Restaurant. I just snorted. That's how fucking restaurant. The moment that shit happened, I couldn't believe that I just watched it happen live. I mean, I was in the arena.
Oh my god, I forgot they captured that shit in 4K live. Oh my god.
Well, you saw, but what's I feel like what made it funnier for me was that, and I don't know if other people feel this way. I felt like something was gonna happen. I fucking knew it because the moment that he finally comes in, because. Also, I don't know if you saw on social media how he missed the ramp.
He had issues with the ramp, yeah.
I didn't know that obviously till afterwards, but you do notice at the moment that you're like, okay, where the fuck is he? He's not coming out. He finally comes out zooming down the fucking ramp.
Friend, he was going fast as fuck.
So fast, and then he started going around the ring. I'm like, if something doesn't happen, then fucking Stone Cold's a badass.
You know what? He had way too much confidence in the last time he did this because he's done this before. The last time I saw him was in Dallas, and he did the exact same thing. Comes out on a 4-wheeler, does a lap or two around the ring, and then goes in and just hangs out, has a good time. This time, I don't know if the dimensions were different or, you know, if they didn't have enough space, but he immediately, like, he couldn't even turn his friend. Boom, directly into that. And if I was that lady, I would have gotten up and be like, oh, yeah, like, that is so cool. I would have actually tried to touch Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, because if I didn't get hurt, why the fuck would I pretend like I got hurt and then act like the victim? I never saw her again. I never saw her standing up.
If it was us there and Stone Cold would have knocked us back into our seat, I know we would have laughed.
We would have been cracking up.
We would have been cracking up, and he would have been like, oh, sorry. And we would have been like, that's okay. You know, like, we would have been laughing. And then if Nick Khan would have came over, I'd be like, I want free seats next year. I know that lady is set for life. I know she complained. I know she's like, I need to be at every single WrestleMania for the rest of my life.
And you know what? I don't even know how to feel about that. I don't even know if I'm like annoyed at her. I don't know if I'm like good for her because she really did fall down 2-3
I'm
business
actually
days later.
Annoyed at her because people can't take hits anymore. You know,
right?
You know,
when
I feel like
for us,
it would be an honor for a wrestler to land on top of me when they're diving from the ring. It would be an honor to get hit by Finn Balor. You know, like if Penta was fucking flying out of the ring, it would be an honor for him to land on top of me. You know,
like me move? No,
me move. Why? I need to catch them. That's the first rule of wrestling. Catch them. Like. I just can't believe. And you know what pissed me off is that she looked angry. She looked upset that Stone Cold hit her, which lets me know she's not a true wrestling fan.
Exactly.
And why are you in the front row, ma'am, if you don't want to get hit by Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Girl, we all saw you. We all saw you fall like 10 hours later. I don't know what the fuck you're angry about. What? No, honestly, the whole thing had me cracking up. I feel sorry. If she really did get injured, I feel sorry for her. But the whole thing had me cracking up. Even Stone Cold checking on her for like 2 seconds before he walked out.
Stone Cold checking on her also made me crack up because I was like, just get in the ring, sir. You're already late. You got to give the non-record numbers for Mania. Just get in. You know what would have been more funny? Honestly, maybe this would have been like a HR issue or whatever. If he would have gotten to the ring and be like, sorry for the lady that I just hit right there. If he would have addressed it, oh my God. I don't know if that would have been like closer to like a lawsuit because then you would have been, oh, he actually did hit the lady. I would have cracked up. I'm like, wait a minute, a lady got hit?
Yeah, no, same. I don't know, man.
And she wasn't the first person to get hit, Rest Friend.
That's what I was going to say. First of all, you are not the first person that something like this happens to. But you know what? It's like, well, it is WWE. It rarely does happen in WWE.
No, Rest Friend, but I meant in the night. Did you see Dominic's? So later, after the show, Dominic Mysterio is in a golf cart. Someone else is driving, and he's like showing off the title. And they're telling everybody, move, because this golf cart is hauling ass, okay? Hauling ass.
Yeah.
People are moving. People are moving. And this lady comes out of nowhere. I think she jumps in front of the goddamn cart. And you just see her, whoom. She got hit, taken the fuck out by the golf cart. And honestly, I don't know if she wasn't watching where she was going. But the first couple times I watched it, I'm like, she threw herself in there. Like,
No, that was her fault. She was clearly running to get like a picture or something from Dominic.
or
It's her fault.
she was just running and didn't see the golf cart coming. And mind you, yes, it was hauling on ass. But holy shit, best friend, this whole night had me cracking the fuck up.
No, seriously, me too. And you know what? I want to end the podcast by saying this. What I thought after I saw that clip of the golf cart and this lady, because for me in the video, you can tell she has her phone and she's running towards the cart. Whether she was trying to get a picture of Dominic or not, who runs towards a car when it's driving? Nobody. You move out of the way, right?
Also, this is just a sign for people to be aware of their surroundings.
Man, to me, stop being fucking stupid and running after a freaking wrestler that's in a golf
you're
cart.
in the parking lot. How many times have we been leaving an arena, rest friend? We know we have to have our eyes everywhere. There's cars that are trying to leave. There's wrestlers that are trying to leave. People almost get hit by cars all the time. When
You
we're
almost
at
got hit by
shows.
Charlotte Flair once.
Yes, we almost got hit by Charlotte Flair. That was our fault. We were not watching where we were going.
To you, so I don't exactly remember how it happened, rest friend. I remember that she was gonna hit you, but I know you weren't running towards her car.
No, because I think you and Sergio were in front of me.
Okay.
So technically I was alone.
Yeah, technically you were, because I didn't see a thing until I turned around, because you're like, Charlotte Flair almost hit me, and I'm like, what?
Yes.
But
And
what
that
I
was
want
my
to
fault
say,
because
what I thought
I was
after I
not
saw
paying
this,
attention.
huh?
I'm like, that was my fault because I was not paying attention.
I love how you're taking the fall when she's the one that was driving.
No, rest friend, because where else was she supposed to go? She's in her car.
Yeah, I don't remember the situation.
Anyway, you didn't see me get upset. I remember I came on the podcast the next day and we laughed about it.
We still laugh about it to this day, and this was like over 5 years ago, I feel.
So,
but
PSA, be more aware of your surroundings, guys.
I just thought, honestly, with all this, there was little hiccups that kept happening over the weekend with WWE and press, and I just felt like that was some karma for focusing too much on AEW. Literally, the moment I saw the video of the golf cart, I was like, WWE has been a little bit too into AEW's business, that this is what they get. All these little hiccups, all these little bad press. I'm like, you guys should have been focusing on WrestleMania and not on all this bad press. Even though they were small accidents, they were all over the place. The Stone Cold thing.
You know what I did say about this year's Mania? It could have been one night.
Yeah.
It could have absolutely been one night. I would have had John Cena, Cody. I would have had, Becky's return. Would have kept Randy and Joe Hendry. Let me talk about what I would have gotten rid of. Logan Paul and AJ. I would have got rid of Drew McIntyre and Damian. I would have gotten rid of Jade and Naomi. Jade and Naomi would have got rid of the New Day and the War Raiders, and that would have been one whole night. Maybe you could have had a couple more matches, but that's what I would have done.
Yeah, I agree.
Final thoughts, best friend?
No. I said what I had to say.
I said all my thoughts. I don't have any final ones.
Said them all.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. I know we've been on here for 2 hours. We probably have to break this up into... I'm going to just release the whole thing. But you guys can listen to it however you'd like. We are going to have a follow-up episode where we do talk about AAA. We are going to talk about Bailey. We're going to talk about...
New Japan
stuff, AEW stuff, Stand and Deliver. I know there's some matches that I do want to talk about there, but only 2. But man, it's just so much stuff has happened. The women had lost their titles now. Randy Orton, RKO John Cena. We talked about that a little bit. We're getting a different side of Randy, but there's literally so much more to talk about. We are going to have an episode next week, so don't worry, guys. This is not the last time you'll hear of us.
Don't worry. Just in case you were worried.
And as always, we thank you guys for listening. Rest Friend, where can our Rest Friends follow us on social media?
Rest Friend, you already know that you can go on our Twitter, on our Instagram. We have our link tree on there. You might have our link tree saved on your phone. I don't know. That would be so cool to find out. But we have our link tree on there. You will have access to everything Rest Friends related. And again, thank you guys so much for listening to us. Like Edie said, we will be back next week. Yeah. Will we be streaming possibly live?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys.
We will physically see you guys.
We will literally see you. No, you guys will see us.
I'm dead. Alrighty. Bye, guys. Thanks so much for listening. See you next time.
Bye.